Eagles. Eagles.
Welcome in, everybody, to a Football Friday edition of Birds 365 here on JAKIB Sports. I'm your host, Zander Krause. That's my co-host, McMullen. 2 days out now from the Eagles' Week 3 matchup versus the LA Rams, one of the best games on the Week 3 slate. It's a 1 p.m. game at Lincoln Financial in Philly this weekend, so we're ready to go for it. Johnny Mac, how you doing on this Friday morning, brother?
I'm pretty good. Dealing with some allergies, I guess, that time of year. But, yeah, it's going to be 85 today. It's like South Florida, man.
Yeah,
it's going to be like training camp.
How's weather for the game supposed to be?
A little bit cooler. I think low 70s, 73. So nice day. But
yeah,
I think the Rams will feel at home weather-wise.
Yep, nice sunny day. Low 70s for that game. Week 3 matchup. Johnny Mac, yesterday you were down at the NovaCare Complex late into the evening. You guys get there. You guys have those long days inside that locker room. They don't give you access to late, so we'll talk about that. We'll get into some of the game today. We're going to break down Eagles offensively, game plan, Eagles defensively, game plan, or at least what the key matchups are on each side of the ball. But John, let's get into start with the updates on where we are right now coming into this Week 3 matchup. Relatively healthy football team, and it seems like both teams are pretty healthy. I know the Rams had a couple nagging injuries. I have to double check what their report was yesterday. I'll do that now. But John, what's the update on the Eagles' injuries and where they are right now coming into the Week 3 matchup versus the Rams?
Yeah, looking good. Everybody practiced. Byron Young showed up. Our Byron Young, Philadelphia's Byron Young, because there's right. Byron Young on the Rams. But the Eagles' Byron Young showed up with a lacerated forehead. So I don't think that'll keep him from playing in the game. And that's the only player on the 53-man roster that did not practice at all. Dallas Goedert practiced again in a limited fashion, but positive sign to get him back. Tanner McKee practiced. I think this is the game he will return to being the backup, and Sam Howell will revert to the emergency quarterback. And then Will Shipley back, which was a little bit of a surprise. I thought it would be one more week for him. So he started to practice. Now, I would say he's still iffy for the game. But he's out there on Thursday. That's a positive sign. And Jalen Carter was limited on Wednesday, was back to a full participant on Thursday. So never any doubt that he was going to play, but he's dealing with that shoulder problem that Vic mentioned.
Yeah.
And you saw him holding his arm at times. So it is something to keep an eye on. But
I was rewatching some of the all 22 yesterday, just re-looking at a couple of the plays I was interested in. And I did notice there was a play, Jaylen Carter, and I noticed it all game where he was grabbing onto it. But there was one particular play where he made contact with the quarterback, and he just it almost ripped back. And he was just like you could tell that shoulder's really nagging Jaylen Carter. I wonder how much that's kind of taken away from his push at the line of scrimmage. He had some plays where he was really, really a force out there. And then he had a couple plays where I don't want to say he took off, but he basically took off almost because I think he was, maybe a little out of shape, but also maybe that shoulder was really nagging him. Looked like it at least.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I say to fans all the time is just because they're out there playing doesn't mean they're 100%.
Right.
A lot of, especially later in the season, but that's the thing I think is lost in translation. So you say, maybe late in the season when somebody's dealing with something, you say, why is blah, blah, blah not playing well? Well, he's fighting through some things and he's out there because he's better than the alternative. And I think you see that with Jalen Carter fighting through some things. And, when you got to play Sunday and then you got to play Sunday, it's hard to get it better, hard to calm it down.
Yep.
But it's not terribly serious. If it were, he wouldn't be practicing. You'd give him a rest. And I assume they'll do that later in the season. But they have the conditioning issues as well. So they're trying to serve two masters. The worst thing you can do for a conditioning problem is not practice.
Yeah, right.
So you want to ramp that up. And then you also want to try to calm down the injury issue. a little bit more complicated that I think a lot of people realize, and it's just a brutal sport. I mean, it is. It still is, even with all the changes and all the safety dogmas. It's still at its core. Play football, you're going to get hurt. And to that point, you brought up the Rams. I think the key one for the Rams is Braden Fisk, who's one of their best defensive linemen.
He was at DNP again yesterday, right?
Yeah. A lot of talk about him too. Offensive lineman Lane Johnson spoke, Landon Dickerson spoke, talked to Jordan Mailata a little bit off the side. A lot of Braden Fisk mentions, and he might not play. So that would be a positive for the Eagles. He has an oblique injury, same injury as Will Shipley. And if he doesn't practice today, he's probably going to be ruled out.
Yeah,
I would think so. That to me is the key injury from the Rams' perspective.
Yeah, and they also have Steve Avila, I think, who missed yesterday as well. So he's now missed both practices, Wednesday and Thursday with DNP. So going to be interesting to see if those guys are out there. Devontae Adams and Robin Hayden, they were both just rest, so they're back to full. So Rams pretty healthy too outside of those two guys, but John mentioned it. Those are two big players for that team. John, going back to the Eagles real quick, forehead laceration. That's a new one, John. I don't forehead laceration for Byron.
Probably his helmet got, my guess would be his helmet got smitten. Yeah.
Some sort of cut on his forehead.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're trying to calm it down, but I can't imagine. Now, Byron just popped up on the injury report. He practiced Wednesday, so he wasn't in the locker room, so we didn't get a chance to ask him about it. But I assume it happened at practice, not 100%. And if it did, I'm sure he'll be fine for the game. But yeah. Hey, when those helmets get smushed in here, they're not comfortable.
No, they don't look comfortable. I saw Josh Allen. I think he broke his nose last week.
Yeah, he's got to wear the shield on his helmet now. But and he used to do that in college. But
what did you think of that game last night?
The visor, I'm surprised. I don't think Buffalo's that good. I don't, except for Josh Allen. Like, I think he elevates that team dramatically.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they're good defensively.
I like James Cook, though.
I like James Cook a lot.
Yeah, I love the way he runs, man.
But I think like when people say they're the Super Bowl favorite, like they might have a guy who's tough to deal with. Not maybe they do, but I don't think overall. I don't think they're a well-rounded team. And they really struggled with Miami, who stinks to high heaven.
Divisional game, so maybe you give some credence to. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. Home and they've won 14 of 15 again. I mean, they usually destroy that team. I was not impressed by Buffalo at all.
Yeah, it's the defense that I think is just the surprise. I thought they made some moves there to try and improve that. But I'll say this, John. This is why the Bills could be a problem, and it doesn't always mean that they're going to be playing good late. But they're 3-0 right now. They beat the Ravens, the Jets, and the Dolphins. Their next 4 games, John, are the Saints, the Patriots, the Falcons, the Panthers. Then they have the Chiefs, the Dolphins again. Like they don't have very many tough opponents this year. Now it's the NFL.
Well, before the season, I said if there's one team you're going to guarantee is going to win their division, it's the Buffalo Bills. A guarantee are going to win their division. It's the Buffalo Bills because they play in the worst division in football. They're the only good team. The Jets are awful. The Dolphins are awful. The Patriots are awful. Patriots, at least to me, got a better coach and probably heading in a positive direction. But they're bad teams right now, and they're going to go 6-0 in their division. So. Yeah, and then you're playing, I believe they're playing the NFC South, so which has some stinkers as well when you talk about Carolina and the Saints.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna look good. The record's gonna look good. Don't get that. I just think They're not as good as people perceive, and it's got nothing to do with Josh Allen. He's every bit
equalizer.
as good.
He's the reason that they could be a problem. Is solely because of him.
Not solely because you can't do it by yourself, but and as you mentioned, James Cook is very good. But defensively, and they lost Ed Oliver. I don't know how long he's going to be out. I mean, they're not good defensively, and I think that could be an issue down the road. I think Bosa was a nice signing, but he's at this stage of his career, he's a situational guy. You know, they have so many injuries in the secondary. I don't like that defense. Now the linebacker made a great play. Was it a great play though? You know, that interception is everything that is wrong with Tua.
I know.
I mean, what are you doing at this stage of your career? And he's always been that guy. He's like a one read guy. And if that one read is not open, like he's got great arm talent. And it can look pretty if that guy is open and McDaniel schemed it up. But if it's not, like he's chucking it. He's putting it in harm's way. And I would not have given him an extension, but you know, that's people are scared at the quarterback position, you know, because he's good. He's not, he's very talented from an arm talent perspective, but he's not good at playing the position. And, you know, what are you going to do? What's the alternative? How do you find an alternative that's better? And I think they could do it pretty easily, to be honest. Maybe not the same way.
Right.
But play the position in a much cleaner fashion.
Yeah, well, you're right about Josh Allen. Can't do it solely, but Dalton Kincaid was his leading receiver last night. Khalil Shakir, Elijah Moore, Terrell Shavers, Keon Coleman. He didn't have a great list of receivers over there in Buffalo. So it is him leading the pack on that offense. Obviously, James Cook is a good player. That offensive line's a little better too this year, but that's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see how that AFC.
Well, I'm mainly concerned about the defense. I think the defense is not good.
Well, they did give up 40 in the opener to the Ravens, and if it wasn't for Josh Allen heroics, they don't win that football game.
Oh no, I mean, and not only Josh, you needed the combination of Josh Allen heroics and the coaching staff flubbing any kind of time management or things like that. So, and again, that's how quickly the narrative changes. They lose that game, and everybody's like, you know, it's a 2-1 start. Everybody thinks Buffalo's still a good team, but now you got them number one, and they're the best team in football. They're not the best team in football. No way. They might have the best quarterback in football right now. Certainly in the conversation. But no way are they the best team in football.
Yeah. Good stuff, Johnny Mac. John, let's get into this Eagles matchup a little bit here. And from yesterday's practice, we'll get just the final reports. Anything else? Yeah, we'll talk about some of the conversations you had in the locker room. I know, John, coming into the year, you always said the locker room is the best part of you know, the job, where you can actually learn and talk and get stuff off the record and things of that nature. So what'd you get yesterday, John? Anything good? Anything worth sharing with the great people of JAKIB Nation?
Well, I don't, you know, I don't want to talk about it, but I guess we have to talk about it. But, you know, it was a big offensive line day, and everybody seems to resign that this is it for the tush push. You know, and part of that is the league sends out a tape every week, not just, again, because I think Eagles fans are way too think they're singled out all the time. They send out officiating tapes every week where, you know, they try to get everybody on the same page. This is what we're going to call. This is why this is a penalty. This has been going on for years. They send this tape out every week. This week, they were very clear to call the tush push very tightly moving forward is the word they use, tightly. Acknowledging the Eagles jumped off sides, giving that as the example. And Landon Dickerson, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata have all seen, Cam Jurgens as well, all seem resigned that this is it. you know, maybe they're wrong. I don't think they're wrong, but clearly, from what they're getting behind the scenes as well, it seems very evident that the NFL's had about enough of this.
Yeah, well, John, you were on top of it about 3 minutes into our post-game show last week, where you said, the way that they talked about that show, about that play on the broadcast today, I know we got some changes coming. So I thought we'd get through the year, John. We might not. We might not.
Yeah, that's one thing. Well, can they do it during the year? I love when people act like it's politics or it's got to get through Congress. They can do whatever the hell they want, basically. If they really want to do something, they did it with Bill. I always bring up the Bill Belichick formational game. They changed that pretty quickly. They change stuff when they want to change stuff. Sometimes it's not even overt. Sometimes you go back to Super Bowl 52. They were calling the pass catching was a big controversy that year because they were calling it very tight. And if the football moved at all, at all, they were calling everything incomplete during the regular season. And they shipped that in the playoffs and they said, well, it's not working. They didn't overtly say it, but they shipped it. They told the officials, look, let it go. And it helped the Eagles in Super Bowl 52 with the Corey Clement touchdown. So, they do this stuff all the time. But in this instance, I don't think they're going to ban it until the offseason. But they might call it so much that you might have to ban it yourself, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because if they're going to call it and they're going to back you up 5 yards, do what I said, Nick. Spread everybody out and let Jalen pick the hole.
Yeah,
You're
right.
Still going to convert.
I wonder if they will do that or they'll just go away from it altogether. We'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how that play kind of evolves, John. We always talk to about NFL ref stats. The guy on Twitter, he was DMing me about basically keep an eye on the play because there's rumblings in the circles that they're officiating it way differently. And if Rogers' crew calls something, then the league has issued the orders, and you basically just confirmed they've sent out the emails, so they know it's going to be a lot more tight right this week. So we'll see how that continues to develop here with the tush push. John, any other comments in the locker room? One thing I did hear AJ Brown talking about the passing game. It's always AJ. They hone in on AJ. They know AJ is going to get the most headlines.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
He did say a couple things. And again, I've said this to many people here listening to the show, and I want to welcome and thank everybody for being here. Don't forget to hit that like button. But, if AJ Brown keeps saying, hey, it's fair to talk about we're not good enough yet. If Jalen Hurts tells me, okay, it's on me, we got to be better in the passing game. If Kevin Patullo acknowledged it, Nick Sirianni, everybody's acknowledged it. But apparently we're not allowed to talk about it, Johnny Mac. Well, it is a problem, and AJ Brown made comments on it yesterday. Basically just said, hey, getting on the same page, communication. But he also did say the ball's got to be there at the right time. So I thought that was maybe a small comment that would get a little bit more of the rounds. It didn't get many rounds, but just your thoughts on AJ's comment there and where to go from here, because they obviously all know they got to get better at it.
Yeah. This has been, this is not new. This happened a bunch of times last year.
Yeah.
I don't know why people think it's new. Now the timing probably complicates it. It happened in games 1 and games 2 instead of games 13 and 14, whatever it was last year, with Baltimore and Carolina back to back. Same thing. Everybody's saying that for whatever reason, AJ, and by the way, he tried to, flat out said, I don't want to give you guys a story late in the week.
Yeah.
He's trying his best, but what are you going to do? What do you want the guy to do? He's forced to talk to us. It is an NFL rule. You have to talk to the media at least once a week. So for people that don't know that, if you're healthy and going to play.
And that does that apply to every player or just like
every player.
Now
some try to get it, some you have to say, hey, look, we're going to report it to the league. We don't do that in general. If guys, maybe, because it is Philadelphia, it's tougher than other markets, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And we generally, as a group, don't force the issue unless it's overt and somebody doesn't speak for 6 weeks or, something outrageous. And they're an important part of the team as well. That factors into it. If you're AJ Brown, you got to talk. If you're Jalen Hurts, you're the quarterback, you have to talk.
Yeah.
A lot of
Well,
times
they have pressers every week for Jalen. I don't think he's escaping the media.
Well, no, quarterbacks are set up a little bit differently. But I'm saying if you're a star player, people want to talk to you.
Right.
And, the NFL understands part of their popularity is the coverage they receive. So they have set up these rules. And that's part of the players' jobs. They have to talk to the media. So I think a lot of people are like, fans are like, well, just don't talk to them. Well, you have to talk to them. And, you can shut it down and say no comment and be unprofessional, but that's not AJ Brown. And you shouldn't want that for any of your players to be unprofessional. So, yeah, I don't know why he gets picked on, to be perfectly honest, because Jalen Hurts took accountability earlier on Wednesday. Kevin Patullo has admitted it's not where it needs to be. Nick Sirianni has admitted the lack of explosive plays is a problem. And then AJ shows up and says, all he said basically was, I'm trying to focus on my job and getting things rolling on offense. Being on the same page, is that really that controversial?
No, it's not.
And then he went straight to, I don't want to give you guys a story late in the week, and shut it down from there. Ball not coming out on the time. Does anybody think the ball's coming out on time? Does anybody believe that?
No, it's not. I love John. My favorite part of it, though, I got to be honest, is in the background right after the question is asked, Bob Lang. Okay, this is all right. Last one. I'm like, I know they're trying to protect.
Yeah, I don't think Bob was there. That was somebody else.
Whoever it was, somebody was there. Yeah, getting people out of there.
But I mean, he spoke for a long time. So that was late in the process. So I got my transcript. He answered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Oh, that's a lot.
15,
I didn't know it was
15
that long.
questions.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, he spoke for he spoke. I was in there first. Then I left to talk to Jordan Mailata, and then I came back and he was still talking.
Right.
And then I circle in with AJ after everybody leaves.
I know people are focused on AJ, John, but I will say this. AJ is generally pretty interesting. Like, he normally will give you some pretty good answers about stuff. I think he's, he speaks about it with some depth and some content. Sometimes, I mean, I know.
Well, there's different AJs. There's the AJ you see with the cameras shoved in his face, and that's the guy who's gonna be more on point. And that's probably not the right way of showing it, but you got to ask about the zone coverage. Everybody's zoning them up. Are you going to see more zone coverage? He said, I don't know. I can't tell you. Probably so, until we do better at it. Absolutely. That's the extent of it. Now, if you get him off, he'll give you a deeper answer. So that's one of the things where background is important. And that's why the locker room is important. But yeah, when the TV cameras are there, he's far more disciplined. And that's not the right word either. He's just not.
I know what you mean.
He's literally, despite the reputation that he's literally trying to not create waves.
Right.
Despite the reputation. And as I said off the air with you, I think his reputation has nothing to do with him. It has everything to do with other receivers that have coined that position in this league as a diva position, which has nothing to do with AJ Brown.
Well, I mean, I not struggle with that part of it, but like if AJ's a little bit of a diva, like you always say, that's not a bad thing. AJ Brown rightfully believes.
But I don't think he is a diva.
I don't think he is at all. I'm just
I
saying
think he wants the football, but I
right,
don't think
and that's what I'm
diva.
saying. Like, I don't have a problem with that. AJ Brown rightfully believes he's one of the best receivers in football, and he's right about that. So he thinks he should be getting the ball. I don't think he's wrong about that at all. So I understand that people make stories about it. It's just part of the beast in Philadelphia. There's no doubt about it. But we'll see what they end up doing this week, how they continue to evolve. I do think AJ will get his yards. One of these weeks. I mean, maybe not as much.
It's not gonna. It literally can't stay where it is.
That's what I mean. It can't get worse either. So I'm thinking it's going to get a little better here. I mean, come on.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Like I said, at some point, and it's probably going to be this week. You can never guarantee these things, but probably at some point, the personality of the game will take care of it.
Right.
They played 2 games. Now, Dallas, they were very effective. I think people forget that. They were very effective moving the ball, moving the sticks, touchdown, 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 field goal on their first 4 possessions. Can it get more effective? They just did it in a different way. And then you had the delay, and both offenses just went sour. So that was weird. And then they're on the road at Kansas City. And I said yesterday a couple times, I think they pay too much deference to Kansas City, assuming it's the old Kansas City team. Like, you go into Arrowhead, you're like, oh, this is going to be a problem. And it is a problem because nobody in Kansas City has figured out that they're not that good anymore.
Right.
So they're still fired up. It's the home opener. So you still have the environment problems. That was real. But playing into it, that was more of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, they were giving them too much respect for where they are. And when you play that sheltered, when you play that cautious, you're basically playing into making it, a 1-score game where a play is going to make the difference.
Exactly. John, let me say this, and we have one comment here on this, and I'll get John to either walk me off the ledge or tell me if there's any credence to my thought process on it. And then I got to bring up something that Jimmy Kempski wrote. I'm a big fan of the way Jimmy Kempski writes. He is not a bombastic, looking for clicks type of writer, very realist writer. And he wrote something I want to talk to you about, John. And then we're going to dive into, coming up here, the Eagles versus the Rams game, diving into offensively, the game plan, the approach, the matchups, key matchups there offensively. And then we'll also do defensively, and we'll take some comments from the great people of JAKIB Nation as well. This is, John, and I don't know if I'm right on this, but if I had to put myself in a position as an Eagle fan, the most pessimistic thing that I could think about with this would be, to me, it seems like they've stopped trying to evolve the offense. They've stopped trying to evolve the quarterback. It's almost like, and again, it's only week 2, so maybe this is a way over exaggeration, but they did what they did last year, and it worked so successfully there, it was very hard to criticize it. Now you're coming into this year, we had in a whole offseason, you returned 10 of 11 starters, and instead of coming out and trying to have a better version of your offense, a more explosive version of your offense, the better utilization of all the weapons on the offense, it again feels like they've condensed down. And that, to me, is, all right, if they're not a great 1 week, they could always be better next week. The worst part of it to me is I feel like they've stopped trying to build. They've stopped trying to stack the blocks on the offense to get better, to evolve it, grow it, and especially the quarterback. Do you think I'm going too far with that? Or is that too much? Or is it fair to wonder if they've kind of taken on this approach and they've stopped looking for the evolution? It's just dumbed down to no turnovers and clean football.
No, but I don't think they've condensed it down. I would say they picked up where they left off. I don't think they've condensed it down. They already condensed it down to what it was last year. Now, you don't want this to happen, but the only thing that's going to change that mindset is failure. So a lot of, be careful what you wish for type of thing, because the only thing that's going to change that mindset and say, well, okay, we can't play this way any longer, is if teams start beating them. which has not happened to this point. And I think most people who watch this show don't want it to happen. So, that's a be careful what you wish for type of thing. Now, there will be games, and again, you don't have to look very far. Look back to last year. There will be games like Pittsburgh and the playoffs against Washington and Kansas City where it looks better because the personality of the game either is desirous to that or it forces it. There will be those games. But from a passing game perspective, they're not going to be what people want them to be, certain people. They're never going to be that in this incarnation. They don't want to be that. So that's part of it. But it's not even about evolution. It's about, to me, evolution is probably the wrong word. It's probably execution. Like if Grant Calcaterra makes a block, everybody's happy. They're taking a deep shot to AJ. First play of the game.
That's a big what if. That. Even if Grant hits that block, there's no guarantee that play is complete because somebody saw a receiver running free on all 22. That's
pretty clear guarantee. I mean, the quarterback could misfire. AJ could drop the ball. Jalen's a good deep ball thrower. AJ, if the ball's going to be there, AJ's going to catch it. I mean, you're right to the point that, yes, it happens in every game. Drops, blah, blah, blah. Travis Kelce can't count on it. CeeDee Lamb can't count on it. But I'm just talking from the perspective of, the bullshit argument of they don't do this, they don't do that. And when it's dialed up and it's not executed correctly, it's different than when it is dialed up and executed correctly.
Right.
Well, from the standpoint of the play calling and the evolution of the offense, there's no difference. There's no difference. You're dialing up the same play. One is successful, one is not. One is successful because you executed it correctly. One is unsuccessful because you didn't. And, that's football. It takes all. That's another thing AJ said. Not that it's Nick talks about it all the time. It literally takes all 11 guys. That's why, the weakest link is the weakest link on a particular play. One guy screws it up, the play's screwed.
Right. So they're trying. I mean, I think that's good context. I don't like the approach of do the bare minimum to win. I think you can do more than that, but we'll see how it evolves. Good stuff, John. I appreciate you talking to me about that one. John, one thing I want to bring up, I just mentioned Jimmy Kempski, and then we're going to dive into this Eagles-Rams Week 3 matchup. Should be a good one. This is a great game. I know it's early in the season, but these are two great teams. I like this matchup. This is a good one here between the Eagles and the Rams. 1:00 game. You got McVay, you got Fangio, Stafford. Obviously, the Eagles as the powerhouse that they are. Jimmy Kempski wrote an article, John, before we get into that game. All right, and he says, I love the way Jimmy writes. It feels like Howie Roseman and the Eagles will eventually make a splash trade. And that was the title of his article. And he basically writes, after the Micah report, is it just me who feels this way? That he says, is it just us, or does it feel like the Eagles are on the cusp of making a big trade this fall? Now, Jimmy ends the article by saying, so who? I don't know. Corner, another D lineman, really any special player, I would think. And I just have to ask you, does it feel like that to you too? And if it does, where do you think it would be? Because Jimmy didn't have much of a speculation on where it would be. But I kind of have that feeling too that Howie's not going to rest on his laurels this year.
No, I think, clearly Micah was a guy that, but the circumstance, if Micah had played on the Tennessee Titans, maybe he's here. I don't see that player shaking out, especially during the season. Is it always possible somebody goes in the tank? Who at cornerback is going to fit that description?
Yeah, I don't know.
So there aren't a lot of splash cornerbacks, I would say, by the nature of the position. He's not trading for Patrick Surtain. So, I mean, A, who would fit that description at corner? And B, edge rusher, bunch of guys would fit that description. You've already been through the ringer. I mean, Miles, too expensive, too old, Micah, yeah, but he plays on Dallas. Trey Hendrickson, no, they didn't want him. Different reasons. I mean,
yeah, like I would think, I guess, closer to the deadline where a team might be selling. I don't know, like a Dolphins team. You know what I mean?
Well, that's like a baseball mentality, which typically doesn't happen. Now, again, it's becoming more like that, where guys are willing. Again, younger GMs are willing to make moves. So you've already seen it. That's why Howie made so many August moves, but because other people are more willing to do it, but it's still not reached the level of baseball or basketball where people are just going to sell their best player.
Yeah, right.
That's not the NFL. So might he make a trade at the deadline? Yeah, of course. I mean, he's Howie Roseman. He doesn't like to sit still. I guess my question is and that's individual people's perspectives. Like, what do you consider a splash? Like I consider a splash Micah Parsons.
That is, I would consider that a tsunami.
Yeah, I even somebody we've talked about some of the edge rushers, Trayvon Walker, Jalen Phillips.
I don't think they're going to go edge after Zadarius. I feel like
exactly. And I've already said Zadarius. And by the way, I think Zadarius is going to play well, and I think people are going to stop that because he's going to play well.
Well, how do you feel? Because that was your biggest concern.
Yeah, I feel very good with Zadarius here.
Yeah. The order is back. The order is back to what it should be. You got Zadarius and Nolan, and then you have Jalix in the third row. I think it's much better.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, that'll end up, in my opinion, being the best move Howie made. And he's got to stay healthy, and he is 33, and he's got a history of wearing down. So, I mean, you got to be cautious, but dude can play. I mean, you saw it. He walked out there up, no acclimation period, as Vic would point out. He's just fine. And they'll be careful before they ramp up his snaps. But he's going to be big addition to this team. As far as corner, look, it's clear that they're not in love with Ja'Cory Bennett after making the trade.
Yeah, no.
They don't think about Kaylee Ringo at all. Maybe that changes.
It's the only spot though left, John. That's like I think we had questions at safety. Makuba, while he has some stuff to clean up, but as a rookie player, looks very promising, looks very good. Jahad Campbell obviously looks everywhere else on the defense. I mean, including now the D line. It feels like the only spot they really could make a trade on the entire team is corner. I mean, where else are they going to add? Nowhere in offense.
And what constitutes what constitutes a splash there? Again, you're not getting Patrick Surtain. You're not getting Sauce Gardner.
Denzel Ward is a name people love, but they ain't traded him.
Well, that's not a splash. The guy's,
he's pretty good.
Well, he's pretty good, but again, I guess my definition of splash is more splashier. I mean,
well, you're only looking at the top 2-3 guys from 3-4 guys from each position, basically on splash.
Well, I mean, if you think everybody's a splash, sure, they can make a splash. So, I
think I would at this stage of where the Eagles are, anything where
and they get somebody who's better. Yeah, of course they can get somebody who's better. I mean, of course they can get somebody who's better, but I think our old friend Josh Jobe is the 11th ranked cornerback in the NFL.
Yeah, I saw
that. That's a position like baseball relievers. You have an up year, you have a down year. So anybody who comes in, I think, is going to be somewhat disappointing to the fan base. Unless they define it like that, which is, well, he's better than what we had. And the hope was that Ja'Cory Bennett would be better than what they had already. and maybe will be. But right now, I think it's Adoree Jackson's job to lose. And by the way, this might be the week he loses it, because this is a big time receiving group coming in. Big time. And that pass rush better help out the secondary, because Matthew Stafford will find them if he's got time. So you better speed him up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We'll see. We'll see what they end up doing there. I think the cornerback would be the only spot, but you're right. I don't really know. Here's Eduardo says Christian Gonzalez is a splash. Now that would be a splash.
What? Well, yeah, I guess from the reputation perspective. But why is New England trading him? Like, why? What's in it for them?
I don't know. I don't know enough about New England to tell you whether they would be moving.
I mean, I guess Mike Vrabel could hate him. One of the best defensive coaches in football, but that's not positive. Obviously he didn't draft him. So there's always that mentality when you shift. Maybe, but he's in his third year as being the 17th overall pick. So they have him locked up through 2027. They're a bad football team trying to get better. He's one of their best players.
Yeah, they're not getting rid of him.
Why would it make any sense whatsoever? That's, again, you have to look at the other side.
Yeah, Eduardo says he's just saying it's a splash, Johnny Mac.
Well, yeah, that's fine, but I'm like I'm trying to bring the context to the conversation. Like, you could play fantasy football and say go get Sauce Gardner,
right?
Because he's on a bad team, but they just signed him to an extension. Again, I'm not here to play fantasy football and just say, oh, trade Jacorian Bennett for Sauce Gardner. Yeah, right. You could say that.
We're looking for a realistic splash, as Dan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I just thought the article was interesting because Jimmy. Jimmy is not the kind of guy to write shit to drum up clicks. That's not Jimmy at all. So, he wrote it and I'm like, if Jimmy's feeling it, I wonder what he knows or what he's thinking about from being down there every day. So I just wanted to bring it up on the show. Good stuff today, everybody. I want to thank everybody for being here. All right, we're going to dive into that Eagles-Rams matchup coming up. 2 super chat here. We already got the 1 super chat. Here we go. Real Zeal. Thank you, brother. $10 super chat. He says, is the NFL now WWE? Evil Roger Goodell going to have a special guest referee for the push. Nick is going to argue a penalty while the defense runs an extra guy on the field. Football is broken. Holy moly, Zeal is sounding off.
Not everything is about the Eagles, guys. League has not a better. They have a larger responsibility to the game itself. Now, again, one of the things I'll always push back on is, and I even push back on it to the governor of Pennsylvania. I will push back on it to anyone.
You did push back
anyone.
On the governor. That was great.
I don't care. It could be the president. I'll push back on him. This bullshit narrative that this league does not like the Philadelphia Eagles. Nothing can be further from the truth. They don't like that play because because of the aesthetic nature of the game, and they're trying to create a product that everybody wants to watch. Now, the best argument, if we want to use an argument, everybody keeps watching. I've said this for years. They throw out the shittiest product in the history of the world and people watch. So if you want to take that tack with me, I'll entertain that, because I'm convinced that they can do, ban passing and people are still going to show up and watch this league.
It's amazing.
So I think it's alarmist from the league's perspective. I will agree with that. But The idea that the NFL is trying, oh, the Eagles are too good, we have to stop the. And by the way, it's insulting. And I talked about this with Lane. I talked about this with Jordan Mailata. I've talked about it with Cam Jurgens. It's insulting. And every single one of them has said something, Jordan the most notable, because the other, he'll go over the top with it. To assume this team's success is based on the tush push. It's bullshit. That's number one. They will go in, if you ban it before the game on Sunday, they will convert on 4th and 1 because of the quarterback and the offensive line more than anybody else. It is an absolute, you talk about bullshit narratives. The fact that they're successful because of the tush push, that's insulting to your favorite team. That is incredibly insulting. Incredibly. What it is it's been a successful play that helps them in situational football, and they use it. And they will continue to be good in situational football because A, they stress it a lot. And again, B, they have the talent. More importantly, that's the most important part. They have the talent to succeed. And you don't have to go back far because this team's offensive line has been the best or among the best in football for about a decade now. And when Carson was here, Carson Wentz, they were 17 of 17 on quarterback sneaks. That's even before Jaylen Hurts, because Carson's a big dude too, and he was good at it. And Jalen, it's gotten even better from a larger perspective because of all the things you've heard about. He's, there aren't too many quarterbacks who can squat what Jalen Hurts squats. So he's tremendously powerful. The idea that people are going to stop the Philadelphia Eagles on 4th and 1 because they don't have the tush push is insulting. And don't listen to me. Listen to Jordan Mailata, because he'll tell you exactly that.
Good stuff, Zeal. Thanks for the super chat, brother John. Good response to him there. Appreciate it. We got one more super chat to get to. Brian Pumper. What up, Pump? Fellas, I don't see how we pull this one out. Matthew, Puka.
They're going to be 0-17, according to Pumper.
Matthew, Puka, and Devontae are real serious this year. Also, they got a furious D line like V8, I guess, Jared Verse and Mr. Turner, Kobe Turner. They do have a good defensive line. We're going to talk about that in a little bit here. They got a good defensive line, no doubt.
Yeah, they do. I don't see how the team that's won 18 of 19 could possibly pull up a game. Come on, Pumper. The Eagles are the favorites. The Rams are the team coming across country. Body clock game. The Rams are desperately trying to prove they belong on the same field as the Eagles. They gave up 460 rushing yards to Saquon Barkley. They have a very good pass rushing defensive front. They don't have a very good run support defensive front. And again, styles make fights. Lane and Landon and Jordan can push those guys around as they did last year. 4 different runs of over 60 yards. 4 different runs of over 60 yards. The Rams are the team they better be serious because they're the ones that have to prove that they belong on the field with the Eagles.
Yep, good stuff there. One more super chat coming in from the great Thomas Farzetta. What's up, Farzy? This is Farzy's cousin, Johnny Mac. So we got to love it. Thomas Farzetta.
We got to get Farzy back on the show. Farzy,
yeah, right.
Mark Farzetta.
Yeah. So Thomas Farzetta says, Puritans cry, ban the homely tush push or rugby play. Yet since 2007, over 40 games were played in the UK. Wouldn't it make sense to feature a play inspired by the local sport and the market the NFL is trying to penetrate?
No. First of all, don't default because Peter King's an idiot and doesn't know what a rugby play is. He's the one who coined it a rugby play. again, Jordan Mailata, who played rugby, and I'm not an expert on rugby, so I count on the expert in rugby. Said it. No, there's nothing like that in rugby. Nothing. So I mean, it's a bullshit narrative that Peter King brought up, and everybody ran with it. That's not the reason they're banning the play. They're banning the play because it part of it is aesthetics, the homeliness point of it. But more part of it is, again, watch the game. I know it's hard. The Eagles jumped off sides. Kansas City lined up off sides. Somebody on Kansas City, I don't know who. You know why I don't know who? Because they were so jumbled up, I couldn't see the number. Tried to swipe the ball away from Cam Jurgens. The officials saw none of that. None of that. So you can keep pushing the false narratives about, oh, and yes, the way they forced Green Bay to put forth the official first rule of the safety. That's bullshit too. But you can keep pushing the rugby and safety issues, which are always bullshit, by the way. Always, as Vic pointed out with the acclimation period,
right?
Complete bullshit, PR purposes. But there is some litigation and PR to that. All of that is nonsense. The play is unsustainable because now they can't officiate it. They can't see all these things happening, and it has become overbearing and overwrought, and they can't do anything with it. So way it happens all the time. Again, we bring up in other sports. There's actually examples of teams being screwed because their players are too dominant. Bob Gibson being most notable, Wilt Chamberlain being most notable, Lou Alcindor at the college level being the most notable in their respective sports. Literally too dominant, had to change the rules of the game. They still change the rules of the game because they're trying to create interest in the sport. It happens all the time. It's not new. When Bill Belichick came up with the formational trick and he lined up his tight end as a guard, and that was an eligible receiver, and John Harbaugh was losing his freaking mind and said, they came back and said, guess what? We don't want this. So we're going to remove it from the game. Belichick did nothing wrong. He took advantage of something nobody else figured out. But they changed it. For old school baseball fans, George will know George Brett and Billy Martin. And Billy Martin was so smart on the voluminous rule book in Major League Baseball. He knew you couldn't put pine tar up to a level on the bat. If you went past that level, you had to be thrown out of the game. The bat had to be thrown out. The player had to be thrown out. Guess what? He knew George Brett did it all the time. George Brett was one of the best hitters in baseball at the time. He had Goose Gossage on the mound trying to close a game. George Brett hit one to basically New Jersey. And Billy Martin trotted out at the exact moment and said, check that bat. Pine tar. They had to throw him out. Home run off the board. Now, baseball came back in that specific game. They actually, the Royals, obviously had a complaint, and they heard the complaint, and they said, this is not in the spirit of the rules. This is not what we meant. So even though Billy Martin did the smart thing and took advantage of it, they said, yeah, but this is not what we meant. We're going to put it back on the board. We're going to continue to play the game. And the Royals ended up winning. It happens all the fucking time in professional sports. The ship, they had to ban it in baseball because the game became too ugly. It happens all the time. And this ain't a Bob Gibson situation. This ain't a Wilt Chamberlain situation. This is a shit show situation. Get over it. The Eagles are, it's going, just a matter of when. And the Eagles are going to be just as good in short yardage.
I know this is what it feels like. I agree with you, right? Everything you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't like this whole officiating thing. They've been running this play for 4 fucking years, John. All of a sudden, they don't get it out. They don't get it out in the summer because they lose a narrow vote. I think they lost by 2 votes in the owners' meeting. Yeah. And now 2 games into the season, all of a sudden after 4 years, we can't officiate the play. What? Just say you don't like it. I mean, they make up this bullshit.
Well, that's again, that's a different conversation.
Yeah, it's but that's my issue with it.
And but that's a sliding scale. Again, for those who don't, because I think a lot of people don't know, pushing a runner in football was illegal for far longer than it became legal in 2005. That's when it became legal, in 2005. Now the problem is, nobody took advantage of it until the Eagles. The Eagles deserve credit, all the credit in the world, for taking advantage of it. It's not their fault. They looked at the rules, they came up with something, they said, you know what, we can do this. And they took advantage of it. Now, as Lane Johnson said yesterday, maybe if we ran it once or twice, Lane's, resigned to the eventual end game. He said we ran it 20 times, so it looked bad.
Yeah, right.
Obviously he's
I do think, as an Eagle fan, I do think they pushed it maybe a little far. Like, it used to be sporadic. Now it's like, boom, line it up.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's part of it as well. But yeah, I mean, They want it out of the game, but not for the reasons that most Eagles fans think, which is to punish the Eagles.
Yeah, right. No doubt. Good stuff. Thomas Farzetta, thank you, brother, for the super chat this morning. John Thomas was one of our first jersey winners of the year. I got him a fresh Quinyon Mitchell, Johnny Mac, right here to send to my boy Thomas Farzetta. And I also want to give an update to my 2 guys who were the big sizes. I got those guys in. So we got Devontae Smith. We got all the jerseys back, everybody. There's an AJ Brown. All right. AJ Brown's always the top of the
Get that out quick for the big splash.
Right.
I'm joking.
I got to get that one out. But I figured got to get an AJ Brown when they're talking about him. So we got plenty of jerseys. We're going to do a giveaway today as well. Jersey giveaway today. But Thomas Farzetta, thank you for the super chat, brother. We appreciate that. Appreciate your support of the channel. Brian Pumper, he checks in. He says, I just see the determination in Matthew's eyes, and J-Mac, that dude is an MFer. I believe Sean will game plan. Hopefully Jalen passes for 10 plus.
10 plus.
Yeah. I honestly think he's talking about, did you hear yesterday that Coward did this segment where he talked about the Eagles ran more tush pushes than they tried to throw the ball down.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, they never throw the ball down the field. Yeah. Oh, it's not even close.
Yeah.
The amount of tush pushes versus.
Well, that's kind of why I said to you at the earlier start, where that I do think they've even reduced the offense even more. At least last year with Kellen, they didn't throw a lot, but when they did throw, they pushed the ball down the field. I feel like they've taken some of that.
I think that's. Games, I don't think. I mean, sure, the first 2 games, but again, it's very small. So
yeah,
if you take like the 2 worst games last year, again, they're very similar. Not pushing the ball down the field, not doing it. It's very similar. I don't understand why people can't see it's a very similar offense to not only Kellen, but Brian and Shane and Nick, for a reason. 1, Nick's in control of the whole thing, and then 2, because they're building it around the quarterback they do have, not the quarterback you think he is, not the quarterback you want, but the quarterback they have, which is the way you should do it, and they deserve credit for that. But yeah, I mean, I'm a big styles make fights guys, Pumper, and look, their offensive line isn't good, average to above average. It's not great by any stretch of the imagination. Eagles defensive front isn't what it was last year, but it's still good. They got to keep at 37 years old. They got to keep Matthew Stafford clean. And if you keep him clean, you're going to have a good day. But if you don't, you're going to have some issues.
Yep, I agree completely. John, we're going to get into that game right now. All right, we got to talk Eagles offense and Eagles defense as well. So we'll start there. We'll do it after the commercial break. Thanks, everybody, for all the super chats today. Good to have everybody in here. All right, hit that like button on us, guys. Let's get to 200 likes here for a Football Friday edition. Week 3 matchup coming up for the Philadelphia Eagles versus the LA Rams. A good test early in the year for this team. Two great teams that I think are going to are going to be there at the NFC at the end of the year. So going to be a good matchup here this weekend. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, it's game time diving. We're going to dive into the Eagles offense, the Eagles defense, the matchups on each side, what to watch in this football game, and all that and more coming up next here on Birds 365.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Welcome back in, everybody, to a Football Friday edition of Birds 365 here on JAKIB Sports. I'm your host, Zander. Krause. That's my co-host, Johnny Mac, John McMullen, getting ready for a Week 3 matchup, Eagles versus Rams. That game will be at 1 p.m. Sunday in Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field. John will be down at the stadium for that one. We'll have full game day coverage for you guys live this Sunday, pregame, halftime, postgame show, as well as the Green Zone, which will be the play-by-play of the football game on the channel as well. So looking forward to doing it this weekend. John, let's get into that game. All right, let's get into the Eagles' offense approach to the game. We'll start on the offensive side before we go to the defensive side. I actually think the defensive side is a very interesting matchup as well between Vic, McVay, that Rams offense, this Eagles defense. And we'll get into that. But let's start with the Eagles offensive side. And the lead story, John, is, and you've said it, Saquon Barkley destroyed this team last year. All right, Week 12 in LA last year, he had 26 carries for 255 yards, good for 9.8 yards per carry, and had 2 touchdowns in that game. And then in the divisional round, to top it off, 26 carries again for 205 yards, 7.9 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns. That's a total, John, of 52 carries for 460 yards, 8.8 yards per carry, and 4 touchdowns. Those 2 games included touchdown runs of 70 yards, 72 yards, 62 yards, and 78 yards. I mean, that is as dominant of a performance as you can get versus a football team that Saquon Barkley had. Now, I know it's last year, but I think idea number 1 coming into this game, they got to prove they could stop Saquon Barkley, John. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, and I bring up poor Christian Roseboom a lot.
Yeah.
I think he was.
God, he's been target number 1 for you, man.
Yeah, he was the main call. He was constantly out of position, out of his gap. And they moved on, and they had to. And they brought in a linebacker by the name of Nate Landman, who is not gonna, splash off the page. Not a lot of people know him, but he's a very good run defender. That's what they needed. He's played really well early in the season. Again, he's going to be an improvement. So, but but I've mentioned it a couple times. He's not, Fred Warner. He's not Ray Lewis. He's just better than what they had, and to a certain degree, it was so bad last year for the Rams. You think about it: 255, 205, 460 yards. You think about 2,504 yards a historic season. If it wasn't for the Los Angeles Rams, you just have a really, really, really great season. For Saquon Barkley still, but not historic. They were what put him over the top. 460 yard, 3 70-yard runs. Crazy. Just so I would take the under on that. Not happening.
Just saying the stats back here, though, John, is crazy what he did to the team last year.
So they'll be a little bit better, and they also got Poona Ford as well up front, which helps. They're a great pass rushing front, but they're very undersized. There's a give and take to that. Part of the reason they're a great pass rushing front is because they're so athletic. Part of the reason they're so athletic is because they're a little bit smaller than, maybe that can hold up and run support. So it's a give and take to it. Most teams, again, that's what you want. That's why you do it. You build your team to face not just the Philadelphia Eagles, but everybody in the NFL. And they're usually in a good position. But against the Eagles, it's a tough matchup for them because the Eagles have the great offensive line. So they can persevere against that great pass rush a little bit more. And they can also push them around in the running game, which they did.
Yeah.
So that's my concern, the styles type of thing. I don't think the style is still good for the for the Rams. I just don't think they match up with the Eagles.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, and we just gave you the crazy Saquon numbers and the an interesting, in addition to that, Jalen Hurts also kind of ran all over this team last year. He had the 44-yard touchdown run in the divisional game. He had 109 rushing yards between the 2 games. So together they combined for 599 yards and in the 2 games. And the only reason they didn't go over 600 was because they had kneel downs at the end of the game. So they really ran on this football team, man. I don't know. I know you just mentioned where the Rams got a little bit better, but this is a matchup nightmare for this Rams defense in terms of how good the Eagles are at running the football. So, the one thing I would say to that, Tom, Eagles offensive line hasn't looked the same to start the year. I know we give them the benefit of the doubt by calling them the best O-line in football, but through 2 weeks, they have not been the best O-line in football. Now, could they turn it on this week? Yeah, absolutely. They could turn it on any week. I expect them to find rhythm and get going, but I do think that's something to consider, something to watch for here. Last year, the Eagles' offensive line was dominant. This year, it's not quite off to that type of dominant start.
Well, I think, and that's interesting because when you said that, I'm like, well, they're not as good as they were last year. I think that part of it's fair, I'd have to look, but I doubt anybody's playing any better on the offensive line. So? I mean, I can look at it, but I mean, I just don't think other people have the talent. Detroit was close, but they lost Ragnow, and they haven't been playing as well. it's only 2 games, but they were bad in the first game. I know that because I saw it. They put up a 50 spot, so I assume they were better in the second game. But yeah, I don't see a lot of teams with the talent to even be in the purview of the Eagles when it comes to the offensive line. I just don't. And then if you look at the individual players, with the exception of Landon, who's been playing through an injury and is not playing like his reputation, everybody else is playing well. I'm looking at the PFF ranking. My lot is 1 of 65. So he's number 1. Lane is Lane. Tyler, I think, has played better. Cam is 5 of 32. Yeah, I disagree with that. With the exception of Landon Dickerson. And the issues they have had are generally pass protection more than run blocking. But I will say the difference is, teams are loading the box and playing zone. Well, that's what Dallas did. Load the box and play zone. Spag, load the box and played zone or zero blitz, no in between. So they're basing, and they based a lot of, the Rams probably played more heavy boxes than any other team in the NFL against the Eagles last year. For those who don't know, it's like 80%. And it didn't help them because they didn't have the talent to deal with it. But anytime you load it, it becomes more of a grind and a murky, ugly thing, and you got to be disciplined, and you got to be playing for the lead, and you basically have to hope for the home run. What's missing is the home run. That's what's missing.
Right. The big explosive 70-yarders we just talked about.
Yeah. And that, because if you think about it, what are the numbers? The first game, 26 for 255.
I think, yeah.
Okay. There's 2 70-yard runs. So 140 from 255, and there were more, one was 72, I think, but just use round numbers.
Yeah.
So that means
24 for 115.
Yeah. So much, not bad. That's certainly good.
Yeah, right.
But much more, so I think that's what's missing. And what nobody talks about, and I get why they don't talk about it. This team lost Johnny Wilson. It lost Ben Van Sumeren. And it lost Dallas Goedert for the Kansas City game. And one thing about 72-yard runs, part of it is you can point to Mekhi Becton pancaking people, but to go 72 yards, you need wide receivers blocking down the field.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of role that nobody notices, but the Eagles lost that role with Johnny Wilson. They lost that.
The greatness of Johnny Wilson, man. We knew it would impact the Birds. We'll see.
And Ben's a part of it as well, and Dallas is a part of it as well, because you lose big-time blockers.
Yeah.
Where they can go to 13 personnel. And, when they played 13 a lot last year, and this is when it was going to be that was going to be Johnny's role. He'd be the only receiver on the field when they go run heavy. And you don't have that. They're trying to find it with Darius Cooper, who never blocked a day in his life at Tarleton State, but he's a big physical guy. And maybe he gets there, but
he was like A.J. Brown at Tarleton State.
He
was like
exactly.
Exactly.
Well, now Dallas Goedert didn't block at South Dakota State, and he grew into it because he's a big physical guy. Maybe the same thing happens for Darius Cooper. Half of blocking is want to.
Yeah.
But they don't have that right now. So that's a part that I think nobody talks about that should be entered into the equation.
Yeah, I agree. It's good. It's definitely still a good matchup for the Birds in that perspective. Chris Shula has his hands full. The Rams defensive coordinator. John just talked about the run game and obviously what they were able to do to the Rams team. Now let's talk about that passing game. Obviously, they do have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Well, I know you want to run on this football team. You do have great receivers, and AJ Brown gets to see an old friend out there in Emmanuel Forbes. They don't have the best. They don't have the best cornerbacks, John. They got Akello Witherspoon, Emmanuel Forbes, and Kobe Durant out there. And Witherspoon is out. He broke his clavicle against the Titans in week 2 and is now on the injured reserve. So we're looking at Emmanuel Forbes as cornerback 1 and Kobe Durant. Like, I know we should run because they couldn't stop us in the run, but holy mackerel, this is an opportunity to pass on this football team.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Emmanuel Forbes is back. I thought he might retire.
Me too. Me too. Oh, man, me too.
Yeah, he's probably not looking forward to this one. AJ didn't take the bait yesterday, but, I mean, boy, he really beat him up when he was in Washington. And early indications are he's not playing well with the Rams either. Durant is certainly the better of the two, but ironically, because he's limited, I guess, from the standpoint. Now, remember, they lost, as you said, Witherspoon. So, that's the starter. And Durant is sort of the third corner, but yeah, they're not good. They're not good. But the Eagles aren't good at passing football. So that is weakness versus weakness. But the Eagles have good players, so can they figure it out? And I think the only way the Eagles figure it out on the passing game, as I said, it's counterintuitive. You almost want the Rams to score because that forces you to come out of the shell, and then the passing game will get better.
Right. But still, you got that matchup over there, man. That's an opportunity to take advantage of that for sure. Emmanuel Forbes is listed at 6'1", 180, and 180 might be a little generous for Emmanuel Forbes. So, AJ Brown, come on, man. If there's a day to get him involved, get him involved. I want to see it, John.
Yeah. Well, yeah, AJ wants to see it too.
I don't know why. I don't know why the Eagles don't want to see it more.
Well, I think they do, but I think they're
really. I think they don't. I don't think they care. I think they're just like, all right, let's just keep winning, and who cares if he's involved or if he's not.
I'm at the point where I don't know what people want.
I want you to use the receiver that's one of the highest paid receivers in football. That's arguably the best receiver in football. That is a mismatch versus every fucking cornerback he goes up against. That's what I want. Is that such a hard thing to ask for, John?
Well, do you want AJ to have 140 and lose the game, or do you want AJ to have 50 or 40 and
don't you think
30?
There's kind of a faulty premise involved though, where people are like, oh, if you pass, you're going to lose the game. I don't agree with that. People are like, well, why do you want the passing stats when people lose the games who throw a lot? And I'm like, I'm not saying I want to throw for 400 yards. I want to get AJ Brown involved. Why does that?
You want to throw
for losing the game?
You want to throw for 221 yards.
200. That's my number. I said yesterday. 200 keeps the defense honest.
And yeah, that's about execution though. That's all that's about. It's not about changing philosophy. They just haven't thrown the ball well. And again, people aren't ready for that conversation because most of that lands on one person. And they don't want to have that conversation. So, when that part of it gets better, you'll be at that number you're comfortable with. If it doesn't, you're going to be in trouble at some point. But history says it's going to get better.
Yeah. Well, I hope it will. AJ Brown right now, 6 catches for 35 yards on the season and a long of 8 yards. That is what I don't like to hear. All right. I know we've talked about it. 8-yard long. That's where I said I think it's still further condensing, John. I know you said it didn't condense further this year. It feels to me through 2 games that it has. I hope they get him more involved in the game, but we'll see if they do that. And obviously, they have a lot of ways to beat this team. I really think the Eagles are just a good matchup for the Rams, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I dispute is the effectiveness and the execution has condensed. The mindset hasn't condensed. The mindset was just picked up where they left off from. It's the same mindset, which is, don't turn the football over, play from the lead, and run out the clock. And get the hell out with a win, which they've done to their credit.
Can you answer me something? Why does the narrative exist, John, that Jalen Hurts can't do play action or doesn't like to do play action? Like, you have Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown. It's like the perfect setup to run play action. I don't buy the narrative that Hurts can't run play action. Why don't they run more play action, bootleg, rolling out a little bit? I mean,
it's not comfortable being under center. Again, anybody can line up under center. Can you do it effectively? Anybody can line up anywhere.
You can do it effectively. Like, I don't know if I buy that.
Well, there's a bunch of quarterbacks who don't line up under center. More quarterbacks don't than do because they're not comfortable with it because they've grown up playing a certain way for their entire football life. So then to turn them, like, footwork is a big thing with quarterbacks. Like, people think it's like no. When you're under center, you got 3-step drop, 5-step drop, 7. Bang, bang, bang. Ball's got to come out on time. Back foot hits the ground, ball comes out. It's not what he does. So I don't. But
he can do it. I mean, I've seen him do it. And
anybody can do anything. You could line up Saquon Barkley at quarterback and say, do it. Anybody can do it physically. Can you do it effectively?
I think the dagger in the Super Bowl was play action, wasn't it?
But again, the one play scouting is the problem. Like, when you say somebody's not effective at something or somebody's not comfortable at something, you're speaking in a more holistic standpoint of, if you do it consistently, you're not going to get the results you want versus what he does feel comfortable with, which is shotgun or pistol. You're going to see more consistency from that. That's what you're saying.
And this is my point about earlier, where I don't think they're evolving the quarterback anymore. And it's my biggest concern. But
the thing is, when we're all defend the Eagles, you don't want to turn Jalen Hurts into Kirk Cousins.
I'm not trying to turn him into Kirk Cousins.
You don't want to turn Kirk Cousins into Jalen Hurts. One's a traditional, and that's what I assume you're talking about, traditional play action, old school quarterback. And one is a modern college game, pistol shotgun quarterback.
Is there no gray area that exists between the two? I mean, get him outside how many times? I mean, you said it. The one problem with the offense right now, Hurts isn't getting the ball out quick. All right. How many times have we seen Hurts standing in the pocket like Kirk Cousins does, and he's not comfortable in the pocket? Talk about something he's not comfortable in. He doesn't thrive from being inside the pocket. Roll him out, get him out, let him make a play outside the pocket. He makes get him outside. Let him make a play in an environment where he feels better. I don't even think they're trying to do that anymore.
Well, the other team's playing as well. That's another thing. So Spags came in with the mentality. I think, and I talked about this with Lane. Lane's been playing for a long time. He's never seen more zero blitz than he saw against the Chiefs. I think a lot of people hear zero blitz and they say, well, he's trying to sack the quarterback. He wasn't trying to sack the quarterback. He was trying to keep the quarterback in the pocket. In the pocket. He was trying to limit him from doing exactly what you want him to do. So the other team's playing as well, I would say, number one. And they're trying to do a certain thing, and they're trying to keep him away from his strengths. He makes a ton of plays outside the pocket. You don't want to build your offense. The Eagles use play action all the time, but the Eagles play action is more of the zone read sort of mechanics. From the shotgun or from the pistol. So I think a lot of people, and I can't read your mind, but I think what you're trying is, Why does he not do traditional play action?
Well, I don't think it needs to be like absolutes, like 4 or 5 times a game with you know what I mean, with Saquon and these receivers. Take a couple shots. You know, I'm not telling you you have to line up under center every single play, but I think there's a place for it where they don't use it, and I think it would benefit Jalen. I think it would benefit, you know, their offense as a whole.
I don't think they think it would benefit Jalen.
Well, clearly not. That's why I keep saying they've condensed the offense down to do the bare minimum. And it's like, don't turn the ball over, run this offense, and we're good. We'll sneak out of there with a
I don't think it's that. I think it's like the biggest thing I think that the Eagles deserve credit for, and I say it all the time. I said it on the Countdown to Kickoff last night because I can't stand this argument about everything being in a vacuum. The goal is to build your offense around your quarterback. So Buffalo, for instance, builds their offense around Josh Allen. And all the way down the list to, you know, guys who aren't good. You're still trying to build your offense around your quarterback at any particular time, and that will shift. And for the people to say, Nick, sure, again, all you have to do is look at Indianapolis tape. It's still up there if you have Game Pass. Look at Phillip Rivers playing the position. It's a completely different offense. One of the things Nick Sirianni was proud of, and he should be proud of, and he sold to Jeffrey Lurie when he got the job, was the circumstance they were put in Indianapolis. If you look at the Andrew Luck offense, if you look at the Jacoby Brissett offense, if you look at the Phillip Rivers offense, they're all completely different. They're all completely different. I think the Eagles deserve credit for building their offense around their quarterback. And when you talk about quarterback rankings and all that bullshit, the best quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles right now is Jalen Hurts because they built the offense around the quarterback. And they will continue to do so. You know, turning him into Kyle Shanahan style of quarterback, or even for 5 plays a game, that kind of stuff doesn't work. Because then you're overloading him with something he's not comfortable with, which could affect him in a different way with stuff he is comfortable with.
Yes, but so do you believe what they've done this year and then what they did last year is the offense perfectly built around Jalen Hurts, or is it they added Saquon Barkley and they've doubled down on that approach? Like, remember, John, I have seen Jalen Hurts damn near MVP caliber in an Eagles uniform. Now, I know it was 22, and that's now a long time ago, but I'm not of the impression that they've built the perfect offense around Jalen Hurts. I've seen him be more effective than they're asking him to be. I think that's why I keep saying
nothing is perfect, but I think that the disproportion of Saquon's season obfuscates the fact that they were the same style of offense without him, with Miles Sanders, with DeAndre Swift. Again, Nick brought it up this week. Miles was a Pro Bowl running back here. DeAndre Swift was a Pro Bowl running back here. Saquon Barkley was an all-pro running back. That's the difference between Miles Sanders and Saquon Barkley, the effectiveness of the running back. But they turned this whole thing around in 2021. It was the Raiders game, and I forget the other game, where they just said they were putting too much on Jalen's plate very early in his career, and they were 2-5. And they just scaled it back and rode that offensive line, even more than a running back. It's got to do with the offensive line. And they became a playoff team, even after a 2-5 start. So, you know, you can frame it however way you want it, because and how they frame it is it's and that's probably the right way. It's the Philadelphia Eagles offense through Shane Steichen calling the plays, Brian Johnson, Kellen Moore, now Kevin Patullo. It's the Philadelphia Eagles offense. And it's built around Jalen Hurts, most notably as the most important player, as the quarterback. But yeah, everybody else, it's built around the offensive line. It's built on the back of Saquon Barkley. And the passing game at this stage is more about execution than it is about what other people want to see, whether it's scheming guys open or traditional play action or any of that stuff, is how I would describe it.
I think, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you said it, and I understand where you're coming from when Saquon has an all-pro season the way he did. But hey, if we assume the logical perspective on Saquon is he's not going to be able to do the historic season he did last year, then that means, okay, the quarterback is going to have to do what he did prior to Saquon, which was a lot better than they're asking him to be now. So I'm having a hard time subscribing to the philosophy that this is the perfect offense for Jalen Hurts. He can't do anything more than what they're asking him to do here. And he shouldn't do more. I don't subscribe to that.
You heard none of that from me. Here's the difference: Jalen played better in 2022 than Jalen playing right now. That's the difference.
But aren't they asking him to do different things? I mean, they ran a lot of RPO.
Well, if anything, he's evolved because he does more at the line of scrimmage now post Kelsey. So he has
in that regard.
He has evolved. But the difference between runner-up to MVP Jalen Hurts and Jalen Hurts even last year or this year, and I've said pretty consistently on this program, despite the fact that he won the Super Bowl, that was not Jalen Hurts' best season as an individual.
Yeah, right. Absolutely not. They asked him to do less.
And that's why I always say people are not ready for this conversation. The difference between Jalen Hurts in 2022 and Jalen Hurts over the first 2 games of the season is Jalen Hurts not playing as well. Will he play better? Yes, I expect him to play better. Has he played well in the first 2 games? I think he played well in the first game. I think he didn't play well in the second game. But what he's never going to be is a high volume thrower.
Yeah, I think there's ways to get him to put him in a better position, but that's just me. We'll move on. I don't want to get into this today. But John, let's dive into the other side of the ball for this Eagles-Rams game. Week 3 matchup coming in here. You got Vic Fangio versus Sean McVay. As you've pointed out, Vic has gotten the better of Sean McVay, I think almost every time they've played. And you got this Rams offense. They do have, all right, they got Puka Nacua. They got Devontae Adams. They got Tyler Higbee. They got Kyron Williams. They got Matthew Stafford, and an offensive line that isn't great, but isn't bad, also isn't bottom of the league either. What do you see, John? Advantages, disadvantages for the Eagles in this defensive matchup with this pretty high-powered Rams offense?
Yeah, to me, the front has to make up for the secondary in this game, and maybe not make up is the correct term, but they got to help the back end on this particular day, because if Matthew Stafford has time, and Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams have time to run their routes, it's going to be pretty successful for the Rams. If they speed Matthew Stafford up, get him off his spots, not about sacks because he's too smart to take a ton of sacks, but you can speed him up, as you saw in the playoffs, and make him uncomfortable. And that's where the Eagles can win the game. So to me, look, they can't hold up with Adoree Jackson and even a young player, even though there's a lot of positive signs with Drew Makuba. They can't hold up against this receiving group. And you also include Tyler Higbee, who's a good tight end in that. Nick mentioned Tutu Atwell. He's not even their third best receiver. Their third best receiver is Jordan Whittingham, who's a good third receiver. That on paper, that's a big advantage, Rams. And that's how do you stop that advantage? The front. They have to pick up the back end, in my estimation.
Yeah. It's going to be tough it is going to be tough. I think the Rams did get better from a receiver perspective. Devontae Adams has had a pretty good start to the year. And obviously Puka Nacua has really taken off. He's a good football player, man. So I don't know. This is a game and a team and a quarterback that will exploit that 1 weakness on the defense. I think this defense is way ahead of schedule. I feel really good about this defense right now. I think they're going to be a top 5, top 7, top 8 unit in the league, maybe higher, depending on how the ball bounces. But this is a team that could pick on Adoree Jackson and do it successfully because they got the weapons and they got the quarterback to be able to do it. So,
it's a bit of a measuring stick game. Sean McVay got asked that out there, and he kind of alluded to it. He gave the lip service that every game's a measuring stick, but then he kind of doubled back and said, yeah, this is for both teams, I think. For the questions we have, more questions for the Rams because they have to prove they can play with the Eagles, but the questions we do have about the Eagles, the corners, Adoree mainly, and the young players in the back seven against a really smart, a really savvy quarterback who's seen it all. So you're going to have a tough time fooling him with some of the stuff that Vic can fool younger quarterbacks with. To me, it's just simple. Get them off the spot and speed them up because you're not going to fool them.
You think they're going to do? You think they're going to do any of the blitzing they did last week?
No.
Probably not, right? Yeah.
No.
Too good of receivers.
No, exact. It's going to be the exact opposite.
So they need the 4-man rush to get home to get pressure on.
Well, you want that, and Vic will, it's situationally, he didn't blitz in the Super Bowl famously, not once. Look, that's always an anomaly. So situationally, I've said pretty consistently, he might be more willing to bring pressure, like in the red zone, for instance, when things are very condensed. He might be more amenable to throw in some pressures because he has Campbell and Vaughn now. So I think it might upgrade, but not to the level.
Not the safety blitz. We got a chance.
I mean, he did that because he had no concern over the Chiefs receivers, and this is the best duo the Eagles will face all year, flat out. This is the best receiving duo, and I'm not even counting. Like I said, they have a good tight end. People would know the name Tyler Higbee if Jalen Carter didn't get home last January, because he would have been the guy crushing your hearts. He was wide open. He would have been the guy crushing the hearts of Philadelphia. But they have a good tight end, and like I said, Whittingham can play. Now the other problem with the Rams is Kyron Williams, and that's tough to say because he's a very good player, but he fumbles the ball. He puts it on the ground.
Yeah, he does.
And the Eagles
two fumbles versus last year, didn't he?
Yeah, both games. One there, if you remember the game out there, the Rams got the ball first. They were going right down the field, getting in the score, and he fumbled it in the red zone. Changed the whole sort of feel of that game. And then he fumbled in the playoffs with, again, big spot, middle of the field. I think it was Jalen Carter who punched it out. Yeah, I mean, and nobody does that better than the Eagles. So they know Kyron Williams' reputation. They're gonna be peanut punching the hell out of him.
Yeah, they are. So that's interesting. Vic did give just for those looking for the Vic comment on facing up against this offense. They have a great offense. Vic said their scheme is really good and tough to prepare for, tough to play. They got a great quarterback operating it. They now have two great receivers. Sean does a great job calling the game. He's a really good play caller throughout the course of a game. It's an extremely difficult assignment. So definitely Vic Fangio giving his credit there to the Rams offense. John, they also
he's Lou Holtson, Sean McVay. He owns Sean McVay.
A little bit of gamesmanship, exactly. Yeah. The Rams are very motion heavy though, John, and maybe with some young players on this Eagles defense. They try and maybe look for some advantages there, or try and, pick on a player that might not have as much awareness or might not have as much experience versus some of those things. Remember, John, last year, Puka Nacua had a big game versus us, 9 catches for 117 yards in that Week 12 matchup. A lot of that because they were playing from behind. But what do you think of that motion in that offense and just, the way to defend it here if you're Fangio?
Yeah, I met. Well, Vic knows how to defend it. But, it's all about discipline and making sure you don't bite for the eye candy. And Vic has done it better than anybody else. But I'm glad you brought that up from the standpoint. I think Nick Sirianni really likes beating Sean McVay.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Nick gets a lot of shit for being uncreative. and like all he does is beat the Rams. Like he's never lost to the Rams. I think he likes it. He'll never admit it. He's never said it. But McVay's the guy when it comes to offensive football in the NFL. And a lot of it is that perception of how creative he is and all that stuff. I think he loves beating them.
It's a good call. I agree.
And, Sean himself, and I brought this up for many times because I think it's, he calls it the illusion of complexity. Illusion. It's very complex to people looking at it, or it looks very complex, but it's very simple for the Rams.
Right. But that's where I feel like maybe you throw Jahad Campbell off or Makuba. You know what I mean? That's
young players. Yeah,
right.
That's what you're concerned about. Discipline. Don't fall for it. Just play your technique. Don't move. Don't chase. Eye discipline is a big thing in football. And that's how the Rams get poor teams. But, Vic's teams tend to be very disciplined. So that's why he's had a lot of success against Sean McVay.
Yep, no doubt. John, looking at their offensive line before we get in, we've got about 15 minutes left in the show here. We'll take a couple super chats after we're done wrapping up this discussion of the Eagles versus Rams Week 3 matchup. Their offensive line, not bad, not great. They got Alaire Jackson as their left tackle. Left guard is up in the air still with that Steve Avila injury. It could be Justin Dadich. Their center is Coleman Shelton. Their right guard is Kevin Dotson. And their right tackle is Rob Havenstein. So that's going to be interesting. But, I do think that there is some opportunity here for this team, for this Eagles defensive line to get some pressure on that O-line.
Yeah, I mean, that to me is the game. It's okay. It's good. Shelton's playing very well early in the season. At least compared to his peers, I don't think
their veteran is not playing so great. Havenstein, he's not had a good first 2 games.
Alaire Jackson's okay. Havenstein's okay. Dotson's okay. They pay him a lot of money. He should be better, but I mean, they've been fine. Definitely better run blocking than pass blocking. So I mean, that's where the Eagles, to me, have to win the game. They speed up Stafford, they win the game. If they don't, they lose the game. That's what my whole take on this game. Because they're not equipped to stand up on the back end. But I don't know if the Rams are equipped, and I don't think they are equipped to. I think this is going to be a big Zadarius Smith game.
Okay.
And as far as that, I don't mean, because I don't think he's going to play 50 snaps, but I think he's going to make big plays in big situations. So if it comes down to a 1-score game, and it probably will, like last year in the playoffs, I think Zadarius is making the Jalen Carter play.
Yeah. How does Adoree? You think Adoree holds up?
No.
Oh, man.
I mean, they didn't hold up last year. I mean,
it's almost like they're going to get their yards, just figure out how to keep out of the end zone, basically.
Yeah, I mean, Puka's going to get his, but
the bend but don't break, the classic bend but don't break this week.
Yeah, the thing about Puka, though, he's not explosive, so it's going to be a lot of, like, he's just big and physical, and he's fundamentally sound. Adams is still the bigger threat from a big play standpoint. And he's one of the best route runners ever. I mean, that dude can shake anybody.
Yeah.
So he's still the bigger standpoint from a big play. Puka's more the volume guy who's going to catch 150 balls and but he's going to catch a lot of balls.
Yeah. 12 catches last year versus. I just said that. I mean, that's a lot of catches, man. 12 catches in a game.
Yeah.
Has AJ Brown ever had? I shouldn't say it. Has AJ Brown ever had 12 catches with us? Oh, I wish we used AJ Brown more. Gives me agita. I just want to use AJ Brown more. Everybody gets mad at me because we just keep winning, so I'm not allowed to say it. But man, I just want to use our.
Yeah, people don't want to have that conversation, but I mean, it again, it's just a style of play. Like Matthew Stafford has thrown for 4,000 yards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times in his career. like he's the epitome of a high volume thrower.
Yeah, he is.
And Vic said he's he's got, when it comes to an arm talent perspective, he's one of the best ever. Literally one of the best.
Yeah,
ever.
I agree. Yeah.
Like that's not how the Eagles play. I don't know how to describe it any other way.
Is what it is. Yeah. John, Deshae brings it up. I like this nickname for him, Clampion, but big test for Quinion this weekend as well, for sure. The whole secondary is going to be tasked with two great receivers, Tyler Higbee. So I'm curious to see how that secondary.
Well, McVay is smart. I think he'll take advantage of whomever. I mean, and that's the beauty. It's not like they have to try to match up Puka with Adoree, or they have to try to match up. They can match up anybody and they can get the football to them. So yeah, I think they're just gonna try to pound Adoree Jackson, and Stafford's smart as well. He'll focus on that. I mean, so they're a very smart team offensively. They have a smart coach and a smart quarterback. I mean, they're going to go after Adoree Jackson. Everybody knows it, including Adoree.
Yeah, right. How will Vic hide Adoree? We will see what he's able to do. And again, I think it's just a bend but don't break, man. They're going to get their yards, but just try and keep them out of the end zone. So we'll see how that goes. Good stuff there, Johnny Mac. Great breakdown of the Eagles-Rams matchup here in week number 3. All right, we're going to get into some super chats here. We got about 10 minutes left to go. We will also give our score predictions here on the game. So here's JH. JH says, I have a friend who is converting from Vikings to Eagles. I'm calling violation on that. Told him our offense will frustrate him at times, but we usually win and have good ownership. You can't just switch in week 3, JH.
I think it's a violation to use the term violation, JH. I hate that term. But anyway, if you're going to use it, yeah, you should never bail on your team. I mean, I'm old school to the point. If you have a favorite team, you never move up. That's your team for life.
Yeah. Yes, John. Now, John, I love that. I love that.
I mean, that's if you're a fan, if you move off your team, you're not a fan.
Right, you're not a fan. Exactly. By definition, you're not a fan.
I mean, you got to go through the adversity. That's
violation. John, I don't want this guy. I don't want this guy's friend who's going to become a fan of the Eagles. He'll be flaking on us in a year or two.
Yeah.
Get the guy out of here. JH, tell your friend we do not allow. We do not accept.
Yeah, but all due respect to Anthony Gargano, just stop with the violation stuff, please. Stop.
I don't use it enough for you to get mad at me at that. HKP says, what's up, HKP? The issue for me mentally is I love that we find ways to win, but why isn't passing a part of that when we have the weapons to dominate in that aspect?
Well, we just spent 2 hours, it seems, talking about it.
I mean, but at least it's a logical thought process. I'm tired of Eagles fans acting like it's not a thought process.
They play a very unique fashion of football, and that the conventional wisdom is you can't play that way and win, and they have turned that on its head. They are an anomaly, but they are a successful anomaly. Like I said, that's like saying, and for this week, the greatest show on turf Rams, that's like, play like them. Those are two of the best teams in the modern era. Literally, two of the best teams in the history of pro football in the modern era. The Rams' greatest show on turf team, the Eagles last year. Two of the greatest teams, completely polar opposites. You can't just say to another team, hey, go play like that Rams team. Same way you can't say, hey, go play like this Eagles team. You can't do it. Now, both ends of the spectrum, one is more run-based, defense-based, in an era where you're not supposed to be able to win that way, versus a team that didn't give a shit about turnovers because they were so explosive offensively and would score in seconds if they needed to. The Eagles are an anomaly. You either embrace it or don't, but that's what they are.
And an anomaly with with AJ Brown and Devontae. I mean, what? I don't know. Here's Alexander Harris checks in. I know you guys talked about Dean yesterday, but do you see a scenario where Dean is traded given how good Campbell and Bond combination is? I do, but I don't know if because he's injured might stop.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to prove he's healthy, and how does he prove he's healthy? You might be able to get something, like a 6th-round pick, but you're not going to get much.
And at that point, why not just keep him for a year? Yeah, I mean, you got full aspiration.
So, because you just keep him in case of injury from that standpoint. The only way you can prove he's healthy to other teams is to play. And if Campbell continues to play the way he's playing, he's not going to have a position to play, unfortunately, for N'Kobe. He's a very good player himself, if healthy.
Good stuff, Alexander Harris. Appreciate it, brother. I do agree it's something to keep an eye on, but I think with the injury, it's a tough swing here. Brian Fleming checks in. What's up, B. Flem? Bags blitzed that much because he knew Mount Union's D3 playbook has no shots. Jalen doesn't look middle, no Dallas, and Petunia doesn't know what a slant is.
Well, hey, Mount Union's D3 playbook won a Super Bowl.
That's true.
Been to 2. What does that say about the rest of the league, if you're right, Brian?
Well, 22 was different. I'm sorry, but it was.
Not from the playbook standpoint. If you look at the games, it wasn't different.
Yeah, but how do you factor that they ran tons of RPOs in 22 and they do not run RPOs now?
Like, there's a lot. There's a lot of.
They are running different plays, John. Like they don't do the RPO.
Well, of course, it's not 100%. It's only evolved, by the way. It's only gotten. Again, Jalen Hurts does more now.
Condensed.
No, not even close. He wasn't allowed to do anything at the line of scrimmage when he first started playing. Not even close.
Well, he had the ability to make the decision in the RPO, but you're right. Outside of that, it wasn't.
As far as the RPO, you'll notice that's a league-wide issue. And as I said, that ships by the way the league handles it. And once they started hitting quarterbacks, everybody started readjusting and saying, shit, I don't want my quarterback hit. So once the league started to say, all right, you're conflicted. That's the whole part of the RPO. If you're conflicted, just hit the quarterback. And we'll take the 7 or 8 yard run, whatever it is. We'll take that and we'll try to, this is still a violent game at its core. And we'll try to put some doubt in the mind of the quarterback that he's going to get whacked. In the case of Jalen, by the way, I don't think it matters because he's such a big physical guy. But from the Eagles' perspective, I think it's more of nobody wants their quarterback hit. Because you saw him get hit yesterday, one of the few last week. That sack he took, you never see Jalen get hit on the button. He got hit on the button.
You never see Hurts take hits like that. That was a hit, man.
You don't want to see that consistently or a few times a game. So that is a league-wide thing. The RPO, there's many fewer RPOs today than there were 4 or 5 years ago. Many fewer. And that's because the defense is doing a better job. And why are they doing a better job? Well, yeah, guys are more disciplined. They understand it more. That's part of it. But the bigger part of it is they started whacking the quarterbacks.
Good stuff there. Good breakdown. Here's one more from Brian Pump. What's up, Pump? Zander, explain Jalen's time to throw then. Maybe run blocking. I don't know what he's alluding to there. Sent this earlier in the show. I don't know what we were talking about at the time.
Yeah, I don't know. But his time to throw hasn't. You're talking about his time to throw versus getting the football out. He's always near the bottom of the league. All dual threat quarterbacks are. So to me, obviously that stat is very misleading, as a lot of stats are, because the more you extend plays, that obviously is going to increase the time to throw. So to me, you have to break it down right away. So take the off schedule stuff out of it and the number comes down. The problem is when you take the off schedule stuff out of it and it's just throw the football, back foot on the ground, yeah, it doesn't come out on time too often.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a fair criticism.
Yep, last one here, and then we'll get our predictions for the game. Leon says, J-Mac, you ever thought about shaving the goatee? I don't know why he asked that. The goatee, that's the J-Mac goatee.
Yeah, man. It's been so long. I haven't thought about it. But I probably look a little bit younger. But at this stage, who gives a shit?
Yeah, who gives a shit is right. Fuck.
Uh,
Leon, good stuff. All right. John's keeping the goatee. At least I presume he is. I don't know. John, do whatever they want. I don't really care. Good stuff there. Appreciate everybody for being here today. Johnny Mac, we got already to the end of the show. I didn't even realize that. Your prediction for the game, brother, and maybe a key that you're watching in this football game, but your prediction for the Eagles versus the Rams Week 3 matchup.
Divisional round repeats. And by that, I mean the Rams are going to have the ball with a chance to win with a touchdown in the final minutes. And this time, as I already stated, Darius Smith is going to make the play.
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
Last year was 28-22 not last year, it was back in January. 28-22. I'm going to go 28-24 this time.
Ooh, close to me. You're close to me. I had 27-20.
Eagles. I will not, I'm telling you right now, I will not pick the Eagles to lose until somebody friggin' beats them.
Nah, I know. It's hard to, you're right. I mean, it's hard to pick against them. I got 27-24, so we came in with very similar scores in this match. I got 27-24. Birds will win it at home in front of the Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia crowd. Looking forward to seeing it. Johnny Mac, great show today, brother. Your final thoughts on a Football Friday before we talk to you once more on the pregame show before that 1 p.m. kickoff on Sunday.
Yeah, 1 o'clock game. Enjoy it, man.
I know. You're like gleeful. I can hear it in your voice. The game's coming up.
Best thing ever. Best thing ever. You get breakfast. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, we got a couple of them in a row, so enjoy them, Johnny Mac. John, good stuff, brother. We'll talk to you again on Sunday on the pregame show. All right, brother?
All right, thanks all.
All right, thanks, J-Mac. There's Johnny Mac, John McMullen, joining us right here on Birds 365. Great show today, everybody. A great preview show. Some good conversation about the offense. I continue to be a little bit dumbfounded about some of the conversation when it comes to the offense, but hey, that doesn't mean I'm right, and it doesn't mean I'm going to be right. All right, I just want, at the end of the day, I guess if the team keeps winning, who cares? You guys are right. Got to thank my boy, Cesar Campos, becomes a member. Starting it off good today. We do have a jersey giveaway today. I got some updates for our jersey winners so far, and I got a pile of jerseys right here next to me. So I'll show you guys some of what we're working with. All right. I'll show you some of what we're working with. Gary says Zander time today. Yes, sir, Gary. We got some Zander time today. All right. We got some Zander time today. So we'll do that. All right. We'll do that. We'll talk a little bit about that. I do wonder what you guys are thinking when it comes to that offense. You know, some comments I see, I'm like, I agree with that. Some comments I see, I'm like, what the fuck land are you living in? But at the end of the day, I'm feeling pretty good. All right. I'm feeling pretty good about where the team is. I would just like to see, I don't know. I don't subscribe to the philosophy that Jalen is what he is. This is Jalen Hurts. I don't agree. I've seen Jalen Hurts be much better than this with my own two eyeballs. Okay. You can't lie to these eyes, folks. You can't lie to these eyes. All right. So Leon says, what's up, Leon? Zander, you have a lot of patience dealing with J-Mac, but I agree with you about Jalen evolving. J-Mac is high. Well, Jalen, look, I agree, man. I mean, I don't think John is right on the number when it comes to this is just the offense that the Eagles are going to run because he's a unique player. I'm sorry, but I just don't buy that. I mean, why'd they pay A.J. Brown if this is what they wanted to do? Seriously, can anyone answer me that question? If this is truly in their mind what they wanted to become and what they believe the best way to play is, why did they pay A.J. Brown again? Remember, they paid A.J. once on the trade, and then 2 years, with 2 years left on his deal in an unprecedented move, they paid him again to make him the highest paid quarterback again to extend him in through 2029. So, like, why would they do that if this is ultimately what they wanted to get to? You know, I don't really know. I don't really know, you know. So I hope they have some more evolution. I hope they can get to a place where, you know, they are using their star players more, where I know Jalen's capable of more than they're asking him to do right now, more than he's put on tape. I know it. I've seen it. All right. I know the guy works his ass off. I thought somebody had a great comment today. It's like, we talk about the play action. And look, this is not meant to be disrespectful to any of the players. Jalen can't run play action? Really? Is that what we're subscribing to now? A 27-year-old quarterback who's been in the National Football League, who's won a Super Bowl MVP, who's been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, who's been a second-team All-Pro, who finished second in the MVP voting. There's no desire to play action 5 plays a game. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't subscribe to that at all. One of the hardest working players I've ever seen. One of the guys who has the best mindsets about growth, about evolution, about putting his feet down and working, and that I've ever seen in my life. Jaylen Hurts. It's Jordan-esque, the way he approaches the game from a work ethic standpoint. He can't play action 5 plays a game. Like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, but anybody that buys that bullshit I'm sorry. That is a ridiculous thought process. That's a ridiculous thought process. Jaylen Hurts, who works his tail off morning, noon, and night every month of the year. Can't believe give Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. That's not even factoring in Dallas Goedert. Come on. I think we can do a little bit more than we're doing. All right. I think we can do a little bit more than we're doing. All right. Curtis says, Z, 2 things on RPOs. RPO is just a catalyst, by the way. I'm not even in love with going back to an RPO. I don't think that's the right approach, but I'm just saying they got to do more to get Jalen in a role where he can feel more comfortable. 2 things in RPOs. 1, runs with Saquon go better when the O-line knows it's a run. 2, the league cracked down on the illegal man downfield on those. That said, we should mix them in. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not something you want to build your entire offense around, but I do have a hard time. Like we talk about right now, Jalen's not getting the ball out too quick, right? Like that's one of the things that Jalen doesn't do great. It's just not his game. He's more of a playmaker. He's more of a, off script type of quarterback. Well, every time I see him not throw the ball or I see him hold on to it too long, I see him standing in the pocket like a duck. And just ignore, all right, that's not where Jalen thrives. That's more for a pocket passing quarterback. That's not Jalen Hurts. So put him in an environment where he can thrive in a different spot. I don't know. Fredo, give some membership. Good stuff, Fredo. Guys, I still got. All right, let's pull them up. We got the jersey. All right. We got some jerseys, folks. Some of these are going back. Some of these are going swap because I didn't have a chance to pick them out myself. So my buddy brought them over to me, and he just kind of picked 12 randoms. So some of them are going back. I got too many smalls, but I know we have some people who like small jerseys. So maybe I'll keep some smalls. You guys let me know. Only members will have a say in this, obviously. But I don't know. Would anybody like a Jeremiah Trotter Jr. jersey? Like, I got 2 of these. I think I'm going to swap them out. I don't think I want these. I mean, I love you, Trotter, but I don't know if anybody will want a Trotter Jr. All right, so put them aside. Here's a small Jalen Carter. Small and Jalen Carter. That might be a keep. All right. Goddard. I'm sending Goddard back. Goddard's gone. Does anybody want a Goddard jersey? I don't think so. And Trotter Jr., I think they're going back too. All right. Carter, I got a small, so I'll keep 1 small. I mean, look, I got to keep I feel like we got people that are bigger than smalls. But, hey, maybe some people like smalls. I got my where's Master Eagle? Where's my boy Master Eagle? Look, brother, I got you that Kelly Green, Devontae Smith. Okay? All right. I got Kelly Green, Devontae Smith for you, Master Eagle. Fit to your size. Picked up exclusively for you. Where is my boy? Where's my boy Lucius? Oh, so you guys like Goddard? Should I keep Goddard? I mean, Goddard did win a Super Bowl here. The Goddard jersey's a medium. You guys think I should hold on to the Goddard or should I swap it? You think I should hold on to the Goddard? Master Eagle, did you see my email? Some of them are going to spam. I got a new email, so I don't know. I guess until it's warmed up, you know. Swap. He gone next year. I'm with you, Josh. I think I swap him. Nah, get him out of here. Get him the fuck out of here. I'm thinking Goddard's going back, folks. All right. Where's my boy Lucius the Show? Lucius the Show. I got you, Smitty, as well. All right. So the big boys with the 3 X's. I got, I had a limited players on who I could pick, and I thought Devontae Smith was a great pick. So I went with Devontae Smith for the big boys. All right. So Lucius and Master Eagle jerseys are in. All right. Thomas Farzetta gets the large Quinyon Mitchell, baby. Quinyon's one of my favorite jerseys right now. That's if I was picking a jersey, he'd be one of the guys I would get. I think Quinyon's going to be a staple in Philly for a long time. We got AJ Brown. All right, we got an XL and AJ Brown. So gotta love AJ Brown. We got an XL Jalen Hurts. All right, QB1. So we got Jalen Hurts in here. We got another XL in Saquon Barkley. All right, we got Saquon Barkley. Who else we got? 68, we got Jordan Mailata. All right, we got Jordan Mailata. And then we got another Jalen Carter. All right, we got another Jalen Carter. So we got some good names. I'm getting more. Relax. I'm getting more. I told you I'm swapping out the Trotters. I'll probably swap out the Goddard one too. And I have 2 small Jalen Carters. I don't know. Part of me feels like anybody that wins a small, am I right, would probably be a woman. I know we have some women in here. The shout out to the great women of JAKIB Nation. But it feels like they wouldn't want Carter. Like, Izzy B, answer me correctly. Izzy B, you'll be my catalyst for this because I think you'd wear a small. Would Jalen Carter be your choice of small? Like, if I can get Jalen Hurts or AJ Brown or Cooper or Quinyon in small, would you rather have that or Jalen Carter? I don't know. Jalen Carter to me feels like a dude's. All right. Yeah, see, Izzy B says, hell no. She doesn't want Jalen Carter. I know Izzy B. She doesn't want Jalen Carter. Izzy B was ready to kick him off the team. Izzy B was ready to kick him off the team. So I got 2 small Carters. I might keep one and swap one. All right. So I got 4 swaps. I'll grab some DeJean. I'll grab some Quinyon. I'll grab Hurts, Smitty goods. Yeah, Hurts and Smitty for women, I think is good. All right, but we got some good names. I'm going to get Bond, too. I'm going to get some Bonds, too. All right, I think I only gave away 1 Bond last year. It was the Big Trag. Is Big Trag in here? He got my only Bond last year. My only Bond, and then we ended up giving him the contract. I was so pumped. Mailata, I think, is a great one. Saquon, I told you I have Saquon, Hurts, AJ, and Carter. And then Quinyon, my boy Quinyon is going to Thomas Farzetta. And then we got the two Devontae Smiths are going to Master Eagle and Lucius the Show. So I got more jerseys coming in though. All right. This is just the first bunch. All right. This is the first bat. Anybody who was here with me last year, you know this is just the start. We're in September, folks. I told you I needed till October, and I made it happen. This is why I made it happen. I made it happen in September this year, picking up a bunch of jerseys because of the website memberships. All right, and I'm still running the promo. We haven't sold it out. I'm running the promo. Anybody who wants to guarantee get something today, there's one way to guaranteed walk away a winner today. You can guaranteed walk away a winner today. Now, not a jersey, a t-shirt, but I still have 4 or 5 of these t-shirts. So anybody that becomes a JAKIB Legend member today on the website, jakibsports.com, if you become a Legend member on the website today, jakibsports.com, boom, package up a shirt, ship it to you today. or tomorrow, whenever you send me your address and your information. All right. So I had a couple people who won them. Let me read you the names. TZ t-shirt already shipped. 956 Eagles won a t-shirt already shipped. Mike Berghorst became a legend on the website, already shipped. Thomas Gruber became a legend on the website, shipped. So everybody should be getting their shirts soon. Okay? So I got more of them here. Josh B says not guaranteed. Some are already legend member. That's fair, Josh B. Josh, I think you've won a few times, so I'm maybe some other people will win anyway. But you're right, Josh. If you want to cancel and redo it, I guess you would still qualify. All right. But so we'll keep that going. All right. We'll keep that going. So still plenty of jersey. Any midnight greens? North, I didn't get any midnight greens, but I do have one still. I got Saquon midnight green. And it has the Super Bowl patch on it. See the Super Bowl patch? So this is an XL. Saquon midnight green. I do have one left. Do you guys want me to get more midnight greens? I will get more midnight greens. I'll just say, like, last year I gave a lot of people options on jerseys. If I didn't have the right size or people were reaching out. Because I always say I spend my money on the jerseys. I'm happy to do it. I love giving back to the people. But I'm not going to send a jersey if it's not your size. I'll go to hell or high water to get you the right size. Like Master Eagle, I didn't have the right size for him. I told him, be patient. I'm going to my jersey guy. Boom, I got him the right size. I think last year, my boy Chuck Hutton wanted a Saquon. I didn't have the right size Saquon. I ended up getting him the Saquon in the right size. So if you're a winner and I don't have the right size, just tell me. All right? Just tell me, and I'll let you know. All right, I'll get you the right size or the right jersey. But do people want Kelly Green or midnight? Like last year, everybody who requested wanted Kelly. Everybody who requested wanted Kelly. All right. Here's Frank says, imagine paying for a subscription for almost 2 years and you never win. Well, the giveaways are extra, brother. If you're a member just because of giveaways, then I can't help you. It is what it is. I do it because I appreciate all the people who support, who show up every day, who like the shows, comment on the shows, financially support the shows. That's what they're for. If you sign up just to be an opportunist, it is what it is. I almost hope you don't win, to be honest with you. Not you specifically, Frank, just saying in general. I don't really care. I mean, look, it's part of it. When you offer jerseys to members, people are going to be opportunistic about it, which is fine. But I love when people win who are, supporters throughout. You know what I mean? That's my favorite part about it. It's really just meant to give back to the people who support the channel. All right. Caesar, what's up, Caesar? Thanks for becoming a member, brother. Thanks for becoming a member. Look at this. CLP. What is that? Chilean pesos. 5,500 of them. Big Z, nice to be back. I'm thrilled and excited for the new season. And this year, I do hope seeing you because I'm traveling to Philly. When you coming in, Caesar? I love it, brother. I love it. Maybe we'll link up. Maybe I'll be out there in Philly, all right? A lot of people coming to Philly this year. I've gotten a couple reach outs, all right? So here's Dream Green. I haven't won. Stop bitching. I'm here for the consistency of the channel. Go Birds. Thank you, Dream Green. All right. Thank you, Dream Green. Caesar, I do remember you. You're in yeah, I remember you. I think I have you on Instagram, don't I? I don't know. I got a lot of the foreigners. You can't get mad at me, Caesar. I got a lot of people fucking, dude. I mean, holy shit. Caesar, you disappeared for 6 months. You want me to be you want to be top of mind? Look at him. He says that's sad, bro. Caesar, what do you want to be top of mind? I haven't seen you in 6 months. Fucking Caesar bitching at me. Look, I follow you on Instagram, shithead. I remember you, shithead. I follow you on Instagram. I do remember you. Fucking Caesar. Take a lap, Caesar. Take a lap, Caesar. I always try and follow the great people of JAKIB Nation back when I see them. All right? I always try to. All right? Yeah, well, Caesar, jokes don't go by me easy. All right? All right, Caesar. All right? Come on, man. All right? All right. Rich says, I heard Z is doing 3 giveaways today. No, I can't give it. Look, I know I got a lot of jerseys here, but I can't just start rattling them out. All right. I'm not in that. We're not at the phase of the year for that yet. Maybe like December, we'll start doing fucking daily jerseys. All right. We might be doing daily jerseys by that point. I told you guys, the goal is 100 plus this year. The goal is 100 plus. So right now we have 11 winners so far. Okay. The goal is 100 plus. All right. This is the winners channel. Exactly, Mac. This is for winners. Caesar, you got issues, then maybe you're not a champion. All right. Rico says midnight green. You want some midnights? I'll grab some more midnights. I can grab more midnights. Frank says, I'm definitely not bitching. All right, you're good, Frank. It has nothing to do with Jacob, just a different YouTuber. I wouldn't know. I know for a fact this, Frank, and I don't say this with any arrogance. I know for a fact this. There's not another YouTube channel you watch that gives away as much shit as I do. All right? I love doing it, though. It's one of my favorite things it's one of my favorite things to do. It really is. I love giving away shit to people. By the way, I put it in another order for, where are my things? I got so much shit on this desk right now. Here they are. I put it in another order for the Z Notes. All right, so I only have a couple of these left because all my people got Z Notes last year. And look, people chirped them, but I'll tell you what, people loved their fucking Z Notes. Okay, I know some people. Oh my God, you write me a note. Prince was like, don't write me a note. I wrote Prince a note. He loved his Z. People love the Z Notes. Okay, they make the Jacob giveaways better. So I've ordered more of these so that I can include a Z Note in all of our giveaways. All right, not everybody who's won so far this year got a Z Note, especially the shirts, because I was kind of just shipping them out. I only have like 8 of these left. And I like the American flag one. Look at these are the 2 differences in the Z Notes. You got the Jacob with the Philly skyline and the American flag with the thing on the back. And then the other one I have is just the Jacob logo. It was just the Jacob logo. But I feel like the American flag one's a little bit more iconic. So I don't know. I'll probably get a combo of both. I told my beautiful fiance to order me some, so she's ordering them for me. She'll handle it. I gave it a cod and said, punch it in. All right. I gave it a cod and said, I'll punch it in. All right. Nothing like giving your woman the card. Gotta love it. Gotta freaking love it. All right. All right. So I got Farzetta's jersey. I got Master Eagles jersey, and I got Lucius the Show. I'm waiting to see Lucius the Show because I do owe him one. He won it a little bit ago. All right. Load up the picker. Load up the picker. Holy moly. Yeah, it's Twiz. Look at Twiz. Even Twiz kept the Z Note. He says, I used my Z Note to start a fire. Twiz, you didn't do shit. JK, I got it hanging up with my hockey jersey. I love it, Twiz. Twiz, I got to get you something that fits. That hockey jersey. You never, Twiz, you told me you were going to work on losing some weight so you could fit in the hockey jersey. Twiz, you know what I just read? You know what I just read, Twiz? That you didn't lose any weight. Twiz, am I right or am I right, Twiz? Am I right or am I right, Twizzler? Mic broke? Uh-oh, I didn't fuck up my mic, did I? I hope I didn't mess up my mic. All right. Twiz sent me a message last year. He says, yeah, the jersey's awesome. It's a little tight, but it'll give me something to work toward. Yo, Twiz! Come on, Twiz! Come on, Twiz! Come on, bro. You promised me, bro. Here's my boy Dullahan. I think Dullahan was crying a second ago. This is the second time you missed my super chat. Dullahan, I didn't miss shit. All right? Now I'm going to wait another minute to read your super chat because you're in here bitching. Welcome to Zander time. I told you guys, this is no constitutional republic. This is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship. All right? This is a dictatorship. You will like it. All right? You will like it. I only got one super from Dullahan today anyway. All right? Kim Jong-Z. Yeah, baby. Somebody called me, what was the Putin nickname? Well, somebody gave me a Putin nickname. All right? Dullahan, every time you send this dumbass chat, I'm going to push your super chat back another minute. All right? I will push your super chat back another minute. Somebody hit me with the Putin nickname. What's the Putin nickname? Vladimir Krause. That's perfect. Doesn't really go because it's Russian and my last name sounds German, even though I have no German lineage, which is pretty funny. But Zander. That's better. I like that way better. Zander. Oh, man. Kim, you're a favorite to win today. -270. I don't know about -275. Come on, man. That's rich odds. That's big odds right there. I don't think she's got that. All right. But Kimberly is a good winner. She's a member on the website. All right. She's a member on the website. Zander Krausen. Wild Bear, not your best work. I love you, but not your best work. Okay? I love you, but not your best work. All right? Let's go to Dullahan. Dullahan, are you done crying? Let me get a response first. Hey, Dullahan. Dullahan Monster. Are you done crying yet? Are you done crying yet? It's a yes or no. Are you done crying, Dullahan? He's not. He's evidently not done crying. Still show you missed it last week. Nope, he's not. You're right, Brandon. We'll have to put him on the waiting list. He remains in timeout. See the corner over there? You're in the cuck corner. All right? You're in the cuck corner, unfortunately for you, Dullahan. Which means your super chat will have to wait. All right? Your super chat will have to wait. I think my favorite to win today is Wild Bear. All right? My favorite to win. Now, here we go. Wild Bear, if you win now, everybody's going to call skullduggery. But guess what, Wild Bear? Guess what, Wild Bear? This is a dictatorship, and I don't give a shit what the people gotta say. If Wild Bear wins, she's getting the jersey. She's getting the jersey. Wild Bear, would you be a small? She'd be a small, I think. You don't want Jalen Carter, do you? You don't want Jalen Carter, do you? I know you don't want Jalen. Oh, you do want Jalen Carter. Okay. All right. Zander Jong-un. I like that one still. All right. I like that one. All right. Izzy B coming with shots. Fuck Wild Bear. It's my turn to win. Wow. We got chat infighting right now between the one. We got a cat fight in the chat right now between the woman of JAKIB Nation. A JAKIB Nation cat fight. There's nothing like it. The season is back. Oh, man. You got to love it. Izzy, don't you start this shit. Wild Bear's clapping back. All right. I love a cat fight. You got to love a cat fight. Izzy B, I've been waiting forever. I'll throw it. Izzy B is she's pent up over there. Somebody's got to go and let the air out of the Izzy B balloon. Izzy B, you're pent up. Relax. Take a deep, Izzy B. Deep breaths, Izzy B. Deep breaths. Good, Izzy B. Shh. Gotta love a JAKIB cat fight. Nothing like it. There's nothing like the JAKIB community. All right? There's nothing like it. All right? A super to read my last one and Dullahan super. Oh, Brian. Now you're crying. Now, Brian, wait a second. There's two people in the cuck corner. What happened? I've never had two people in the cuck corner. Now, it's Brian and Dullahan. Brian and Dullahan sitting in the corner together. What happened to Brian and Dullahan sitting in the corner together? Holy moly. Uh-oh, we got people wagering. I got my money on Izzy B. Uh-oh. Wild Bear, you better not take this shit. It's getting crowded over there. It is getting crowded over there. Speaking of Dullahan, let's read his super chat before he weeps tears. There he is. I won. Oh my gosh. The super chat is literally a super chat so I can read his tears. Dullahan, I love you, brother. You need to drop this victim mentality. He says, I won last season. I couldn't respond in time. I'm a truck driver, hand-free laws. Oh my gosh. Look at this revisionist history right here. Look at this revisionist history. I won last season. I won 10 months ago, Zander, but I wasn't able to get my message in time. Oh, Dullahan. I'm trying to root for you, and every comment I read is worse. All right? Come on, Dullahan. Bears are bigger than bees. That's a good one. Wild Bear versus Izzy B. Holy mackerel. All right. I have a ton of respect for truckers. Our country would not work without truckers. People do not realize that. Well, I think some people do realize that, but yeah. Yeah, I got a ton of respect for truckers. You know, Cilio had this analogy the other day, and I thought it was the worst analogy I've ever heard. Sills, if you're listening, all right, ready? This was Sills' analogy, and I think he used it on the Battle Royale. He's talking about Kevin Patullo being, a rookie driver driving a Ferrari. And instead of saying, driving like a Prius or driving like a golf cart or something super simple, he says, why would you give the keys for a Lamborghini keys to a cement driver? And I'm like, dude, driving a cement truck probably ain't that easy. All right. Not a good comp, Big Sills. Not a good comp. Cement driver is probably harder to drive a cement truck than it is to drive a Lamborghini. All right. Which is automatic, dual clutch automatic. All right. Bees are nimble and sting too. Look at that. Joe Whip is on the Izzy B side. All right. I will remain neutral in this battle. All right. Yeah, I agree, Luis. Driving that thing's gotta be tough. Okay. All right, Dullahan. You can come out now. Brian Fleming, you can come out now. Brian says I missed another one of his supers. Send the small to Cilio. He'll wear as a sports bra. Brian, not your best work. Brian, I'll give you credit. Not your best work. Send the small to... When did we become... Yeah, this dank bird guy. I bring up a cat fight, and we got... The chat has gone haywire. All right? The chat has gone haywire, dank. Some of these dudes got to get out of the house. Tony, what's up, Tony? Good to see you, brother. T-Lo says, imagine knowing how to drive a cement truck and still bitching about the tush push. I don't know, man. I can't relate. Z, you going to hire Molly who? The first take lady? Yeah, she's not bad. She probably, probably out of our price range. They're rich, but. So, probably not happening there. Joe Whip is like the consolation prize today. Joe Whip is making everyone feel good. I thought it was funny, Brian. Joe Whip, it wasn't funny. It was not funny. All right. Lawsuit come. Why? What happened? I didn't even see this. I saw that she wasn't there anymore, but was there some sort of skullduggery that went on? Is there some sort of skullduggery that went on? Chester, good luck at PT, brother. Knee surgery. Good luck, my friend. First take, about to have to hire Morgan and Nathan. Oof. Morgan and Nathan. All right. I'm going to pull the giveaway names. I was hoping to get at least one more member. I haven't gotten a member anywhere, not on the site, not on the YouTube channel. Everybody wants the jerseys, but nobody wants to be a member. She's engaged to Stephen A. What? Zander, got to go. Later, Don. Appreciate you, brother. They lowballed her and she crashed out. Well, ESPN's kind of hemorrhaging money, so would it make sense if they had to cut their budget a little bit? She wouldn't accept their offer. All right. Gotcha. Welcome to the media world, folks. A lot of people in media think they're worth more than they are. It's just the truth. I've had a lot of people working for JAKIB Sports in my day. All right. A lot of these people, the juice ain't worth the squeeze, man. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. Okay. The Zander time is so long, my legs fell asleep. Brian Fleming, it's 10:34. It's not even long. 34 minutes. You must be new. You must be new here, Fleming. I know you're not, but you're acting like you are. 34 minutes. That's like the lightest Zander time we've ever had. Last year, I think we had one where we were over noon. It was like 4.5 hours later. Come on, man. All right. Probably because most watching are already members. That's probably true, honestly. We got a lot of members, which is good. All right, you guys are off on a tangent on the freaking on the chick. Yeah. Remind me to not be able to bring up chicks ever again. Holy mackerel. All right. Holy mackerel. Zander time suspends the space-time continuum. Good. Frank says, Zander, can I come work for JAKIB Sports? What do you want to do, Frank? Sell me on you right now. If you can make me a pitch right now, you're hired. But until then, I'm not enticed, Frank. There we go. We picked up a member. There we go. North became a member, and North requested a midnight green. So I'm going to get some midnight greens for North. North, thanks for becoming a member, brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. All right. All right, good stuff. All right, we'll do the picker soon. North, thanks for becoming a member. What tier did North become? So I know, because it doesn't show me on my side. I don't know why. I got to make a trip to Apple soon, folks. It's almost time, unfortunately. I don't want to do it, but I got to do it. North, thanks for becoming a member. Big Trag became a member again. I think he got gifted. Big Trag is a lucky dude. He got gifted again. I think he won the Bond jersey off a gift. My boy Big Trag is full of luck around here. North, thanks, bro. I might hire a driver. That'd be fire. Rich, you wanna be my driver? I gotta get a big Escalade or something. Get a big Escalade. That'd be fire. Nah, Rich. Rich says get me behind. Nah, Rich. Not happening. Sorry, dude. Rich wants to drive the vet. Apple stinks. I know, Twiz. But my whole entire infrastructure is on Apple, dude. I cannot move it off at this point. All right. 956 says I'll drive the vet. Yeah, well, Luis, that's what I got. I got the M1. The M1s were falling off the cliff, dude. Oh, Big Trag says I didn't get the bone off a gift. Come on, Zander. All right, Trag. All right. I just speculated. Doesn't mean I'm always right. Rich wants to drive the vet. I don't know if I trust Rich behind the vet. Luis, is that what I got to get up to? M2 minimum? I think you're up to like M4 by now. 2023. Why 23? It's the same as the 22, 21. I think the new Escalades came out in 21. All right. Yeah, the M1s are no good. My M1s are crapping out. Frank is a driver. Frank, do you provide the car, or do I got to go buy an Escalade? I'm buying a truck soon anyway because I need a truck for the winter. The vet's going to go in the garage for a little while. That's going to go in the garage. I got some updates. I'm going to do some updates postseason on the vet, or I'm going to trade it for the for the green one. I haven't decided yet. Frank says he's coming to pick me up in the Scat Pack. I'll take a Scat Pack pickup. I like a Scat Pack at $392. My wife has an M4, not an M4 competition. I like an M4 competition. No, I'm not going that big, Tony. What truck are you getting? I don't know yet. Zander, buy Sills and Escalade so he can retire that piece of shit H2. Sills doesn't leave the house. He doesn't need a car. All right. He doesn't need the car. Sills is good. I think Sills is good. All right. Rich, you majored in political. Abe, you majored in political science. That's not what I expected. The V model Escalade is Wago. I heard there's some motor issues on those Escalades right now. Ooh, nice. M550i. Nice, big fish. I like those. You didn't want to go big. You didn't want to go big. Wait, how M550? I feel like M550, you could probably got an M3. You didn't want an M3? Nah, M550 is definitely a little cheaper than the M3. That's a nice car, though. I like the V8. I think it's got the same motor as the M850, which is a nice motor. It's actually, some people like that motor better than the souped up motors in the M8 and the M5. Frank wants to be hired. All right, Frank. Problem with you, Frank, right now is I don't leave enough. Get the TRX. TRX is nice. Did they bring it back, or is that still discontinued? Man in Black says the Hurts mic'd up is legendary. Man in Black, I thought it was meh. I watched it last night. I noticed that he doesn't talk to AJ Brown at all. He didn't talk to AJ Brown at all. At least they didn't show any conversation with AJ Brown. Joe Whip, I love you, brother. You know I do. All right, Joe Whip, you know I love you. I am not going electric. All right, one of my joys in life is the sound of the motor. All right, I just love it. It's one of my joys in life. Don't put me in a neutered Tesla that goes 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. I don't give a shit. I don't want it. I'm not interested in it. I don't like it. I don't want it. I'm out. Give me that 90. Give me the smell of that 94 octane. All right. I ran in the Tesla. I've driven one. It's not my favorite, though. V8 American Muscle. Tony knows the deal. Tony one up me. He's got one of the hottest CH Stingrays you'll ever see. I've showed it on the show before. Get that immediately. Which one, Rich? The TRX? TRX is hot, dude. TRX is hot. We're on the car tangent. You guys are going to get me looking early. I wanted to buy it in November. It's only September, guys. I need November, December, and then I'll be picking up the truck. I don't know what I'm going to get yet. I might go the route of not a beater, but something that I can really put miles on and use and beat up. I'm going to be buying a house soon. I'm engaged, so when I get married, I want to get a house. I know a lot of people are like, don't buy a house, but I still think the buying a house is the best thing. The CT5V black one with the manual, that's probably the best manual trends. That's probably the best manual V8 you can buy right now. Easily, actually. I don't think there's even another V8 with a manual in it anymore. Corvettes, no more manual. Vet, no more manual. They took the manual out of GT500. No, I mean you could get a Mustang, just a Mustang GT. You could get a Camaro, discontinued now, but 85 Silverado, that would be legendary. Zander, who got the best interior design in your opinion? I don't know, Abe. I guess it's all preference. It's all preference, Abe. A lot of people like Mercedes interior. It's not my favorite. BMW interior is not great. Audi has solid interior. I tell you what, the interior in my Ram truck was next level good. I've driven Raptor. My brother, he's got a Lariat. My pop used to have the Sierra 1500 Denali. I was in that. I've been in all the trucks. The Ram interior was incredible. Uh-oh. My beautiful woman is calling me. Let me see what she needs. Let me make sure she's all right. Joe Whip says, fire up the picker. Joe, you're in timeout. You're in the corner now. The picker will come when I'm ready for the picker, and I am not yet ready for the picker. All right. Oh, let me make sure. 1 sec. She's okay. Eagles 23-19. Paul, I had 27-24, but 23-19 is a good score too. 23-19 is a solid score. All right. Joe Whip, you're on the couch in the corner. Hellcat motor, best of both. It's true. You're getting about 6 miles to the gallon. I already have one V8. Do I need to go another V8 in the truck? Do I want to go something a little more practical? I don't know. Probably not. Kimberly, you and me both. You guys want to see what I'm getting? When JAKIB Sports makes it to where I want to get it to, this is what I'm getting. All right, this is what I'm getting. This is what I'm getting. When JAKIB gets to where I need JAKIB to get to, I'm getting the GT500 in eruption green. It's such a beautiful car. GT500 eruption green, baby. With the white stripe. Got to go painted stripe, too. It's an extra 10 G's. Worth it. Got to go painted stripe. You got to go painted stripe. All right. You got to go painted stripe. Oh! That's what I'm doing. All right. ZR1X would be sick too, Tony, but they're going to be like $500,000. All right. I'll probably always have a vet. All right. I'll always have the vet. It'll go with my Mustang, but you can't take the Mustang lover out of me. I love Mustangs. I just think they're classic American. I love it. I love the eruption green too. It's cool. GT500 is hard. All right, everybody. Are we ready for the picker? I don't know yet. I don't know if we're ready for the picker. All right, North, thanks for becoming a member. Fleming, Dullahan, Caesar, who was like, you don't remember me? Caesar, I absolutely remember my Chilean Caesar. All right, my Chilean Caesar with the Chilean pesos. All right. S8, that's a fun car, ZM. S8s are cool. All right. DM says Mustangs are the best. Well, I don't know. Every Mustang guy deep down wants a Corvette. So I'm living the dream. All right. Every Mustang guy deep down wants to drive a Corvette. All right. At least that's what I think. I don't know. That was me. Mustang, I love them, but the pinnacle is the pinnacle of the American V8 is the Vet, man. It really is. Houston says, Zander, I could see you hanging out the window speeding, screaming, F y'all opinion, Eagles, baby. Go Birds! No, I'm not a speeder. I only go fast in roads where I'm not a speeder, dude. I don't like putting people in danger. That's not why I get nice cars. Take it to a track, take it somewhere where you can, let it loose on the open road. But I don't do it. What my pet peeve is? When you're in a neighborhood and there's somebody like ripping through a neighborhood, and I'm like, yo, asshole. There's kids, there's families, there's residential homes. What are you doing? And you get that all the time. I hate that, man. I hate that. See people blowing by a house going 50 miles an hour in a neighborhood. Come on, man. Come on. Can't do that. Hate that. So got to be responsible. Got to be responsible, which is a big part of it. All right. Yeah, Izzy B, there you go. Late night highway runs. You can get out there. There's not as many people on the road. Exactly. All right. So don't worry. I like to open the cars up, but you got to do it in a good way. All right. You got to do it in a respectful way. So that's a big part of it. All right. Let me pull the members. I was hoping to get a legend member on the website so I can give away these shirts. All right. I was hoping to give away these shirts today, but nobody wants to become a legend member on the website. You get 8 extra entries for the jersey and an Eagles Super Bowl t-shirt. Look, I got the W. Come on. Super Bowl champs. What do I got here? Another Super Bowl champs. I got the classic Super Bowl shirt they wore on the field. This one's cool, actually. The helmet on there. It ain't pay week, Z. Classic. It's not for me either. Well, no, not yet, at least. Not yet. My paydays are sporadic. They're all over the place. All right. All right, let me pull it up. Fire shirts. 956, yours is on the way. Yours is on the way. Vet all the way. Tony, I knew you'd be vet all the way for sure. All right. That's no questions about that, Tony. All right. No questions about that. Tony, you know what other color I like right now on the vets? I like the rapid blue. I've always I used to love the grabber blue in the Mustangs. I like the rapid blue. I do. I think it's really good looking. It's got a great look, got a great eyeball. Got a great eyeball to it. All right, here we go. Eagles jersey. We're doing a jersey because Kevin never won. All right, Kevin never claimed his prize, so he's officially done and dusted. He's done and dusted. All right. Oh, did they get rid of it, Tony? Damn, really? I love that color. Rick Conti is a rapid blue. Yeah, rapid blue is cool. I like Rick Conti. He's dope. I'm a big Rick Conti guy. You know, my mom's maiden name, Tony, is Conti, so my cousins are all Contis. The Kazacani. Anybody from the Glenside area? Anybody from the Glenside area? You'd know my lineage on my mother's side. The Kazacani was a big restaurant in Glenside, right off Easton Road in Glenside. Anybody who's familiar with the area. Right off Easton Road in Glenside. Iconic restaurant, all home-cooked meals. Anybody who wants to know why I'm spoiled when it comes to food. All right, that's why. My grandma was the GOAT. All right. My grandpa ran the restaurant. He was the head chef, him and all his brothers. All right. The Kazacani. I wish they kept that restaurant. Yes, sir. Siglor, Glenside homies. Siglor, were you around for that? No, I don't know. I don't know how old you are, Sig. Kazacani restaurant, Glenside, PA. Casa Conti. Look it up. Gotta love it. All right. There we go. We got a legend on the website. And guess who it is? It's our boy, Chilean Caesar. All right, Caesar. I'm going to reach out to you and I'll send you a shirt. It's probably going to be hard to send you a shirt, but I'll still do it. So good stuff, Caesar. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate that very much. Becomes a legend on the website. We got fires we got to put out. Flex is good, guys. I see you guys talking about it. Flex, man. I got you guys. Flex is good, man. I talked to him this week. Me and Flex always text me, so I always talk to Flex. That's all right, Ian. It's a part of the game, brother. It's a part of the game. All right, here we go. Let me get this. Yep, Siglor. That's where it used to be. It's now the New Life Church, but it used to be the Casacani. Did you look it up, Siglord? Yes, sir. Look. Here it is. Here it is. This is my lineage. This is the Italian in me right here. Okay? Here it is. Look, here's the Casacani. That's right in Glenside, right off Easton Road. Well, it used to be. It's not anymore, obviously. Look at the cars. Pretty sick. Now, that's obviously like a portrait or some sorts, but it's pretty cool. That's Glenside history right there. Glenside history right there. Here's an actual picture of it. Look, here's an actual picture of it. There's an actual picture of it. Yep. So think about it. My great grandparents, so my grandma's parents, my grandfather's parents, both came from different parts of Italy. All right. Both first generation off the boat immigrants. Now think of this. My whole lineage, my whole family, okay? Brothers, cousins, all the Contis, they all ran this restaurant like it was like a home kitchen. It wasn't like they had this grandiose chef. It was all the Italian immigrants, all the people who came here, first generations, who were obviously incredible cooks, incredible chefs. They all worked in the kitchen. My grandfather used to cut up everything in the morning. Like he did it all. He did it all. All right. So no, that's an actual image right there. Why you point? I told you, Rich, it's old time. It's not, it hasn't been around for a while. It hasn't been around probably 30, 40 years. I forget when the last year of it was. Yeah, it used to be, it was the Casacani, then it was the Weldon Hotel. No, Weldon Hotel was before, then it became the Casacani, and then it became the New Life Church. Yeah, so pretty cool. Pretty cool. Most people who have ever been through Glenside and are older know, and will know it. So Siglor says, I'm going to ask my grandpa about it. They lived in Glenside. He'll know it. I'm telling you right now, he'll know it. He'll know it. It was an iconic restaurant, man. It was an iconic restaurant for sure. Yeah, it was really big. Really big. Big ass kitchen, man. Big ass kitchen. Big ass kitchen. I forget when they got from 1919 until the 1970s. Think about that. So as I mentioned, my grandma's parents, all right, so my great grandparents, first generation off the boat from Italy, 1919. That's about right? 1919. You know, there you go. They started it, passed it down to my grandfather and all his brothers and his cousins, Fred, Frank, all of them, Eugene, all my great uncles and my great grandfather. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. A little Big Z history lesson for you guys today. All right. The haters will love that one. I don't know if it was two-story, Frank. I'd have to ask. I'd have to ask. All right, let me get this picker done. I got to pull the members' names, so you guys are going to have to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, everybody. All right, take a deep breath. All right, updated list coming. Let me go to my list. Let me go to my website members. Let me add in my boy Caesar. Caesar Campos became a legend member on the website. All right. All right, I got everybody there from the website now. All right, let me go to YouTube and pull from our YouTube list. We'll have North added. We'll have a couple people. All right. Izzy B says, Zander, we'll keep you live till 2 p.m. I need more super chats to stay live till 2 p.m. Come on, man. Super chats and memberships will keep me on till 2. I'll do it. Don't act like I won't do it. I'm not afraid to do it. I'll talk all day. I'll talk all freaking day. Look at Joe Webb. Please no. Hey, Joe, if I'm such a disturbance to you and you don't want to listen, you don't have to be here. I mean, holy shit. Joe, you're one of the people I try and not put in a blender. All right. You're one of the people I try and not put in a blender. I try and have respect for the OGs around here to not put them in a blender. Okay. To not put them in a blender. And Joe, you're getting close to being put in a blender today. All right. You're getting close to being put in a blender. Gruber says, hate to be that guy. I'll check for you, Gruber. No problem, brother. You should be. What are you? You're a legend on the website, which should be 8. And then are you a JAKIB fan on the YouTube? Yep, you'll have 9. I'll check for you, though, dude. Don't give me a sec. I'll pull all the names. All right, I'll pull all the names. Let me load up the most recent member list. All right. We'll sort it out. Arrange. Let me go. Nope, not arrange. Organize. Show sort options. All right, sort by the level. All right, beautiful. There's North. He's in there. We got, all right, so all of our JAKIB fans. Let's get them done now. Copy. Okay. Put them in the list. Beautiful. Convert to text. There you go. Let's go grab our legend members from the website. Oh, whoa, Caesar. Caesar's a legend on the website and a legend on the... Caesar, I didn't realize you became a legend. Whoa! Caesar's maxed out. Caesar, you're maxed out. You got 13 entries, brother. Thank you, my man. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Caesar maxed out. Look at that. All right. Convert to text. All right. Legends. Now I got to get the family members. Shout out to all my family members. Appreciate all of you guys. Appreciate all of you guys. All right. Here we go. Who's yapping outside my window? Somebody's yapping out there. All right. Money. All right, copying them. I got to put them into ChatGPT because ChatGPT knows how to calculate my entries. I taught it. I taught it how to calculate my entries. Let me go. I know, Rich. I didn't put the names in the spinner yet. Holy shit. God, you guys are some cispots. Man, you guys are some cispots, Rich. Holy moly. Joe Whipp and Rich are the latest in the corner. All right. Joe Whipp is the latest in the corner. All right. Rich, enjoy the corner. All right. How do I put in my entries? Frank, they're automatically in. As long as you're a member, they're in. All right. All right. It's making my updated list. Oh, God. Look, my phone's been picking up all my text. I hate when that happens. Exactly, Izzy B. Zander time takes time. 1 to 5 hours, so sit down and shut the F up. Exactly. Well done, Izzy B. That might earn you a jersey just as is, but you're getting Jalen Carter. Take it or leave it. I'm just kidding, Izzy B. I'm just kidding, Izzy B. Oh, man, that's funny. All right. Zay, you make up joke. Yeah, no shit. I'm on a talk show myself for an hour and a half. You got to make shit up on the fly. All right. All right, we got our latest names. The latest names are in. Anybody that wants me to check, I will check. Okay? I will check. 623 on the entries. All right. 623 on the entries. Here it is. Here it is. All right. So who wanted me to check? Somebody wanted me to check. Was it Caesar? There's Caesar. Look, maxed out. 13 entries for Caesar. Okay. 13 entries for Caesar. Who else wanted me to look? Somebody said, yeah, right, Josh B., the dictatorship, that's coming next. You go from the corner to off the list. All right. Who asked me to look? Somebody just asked me to look. Was it Caesar? Somebody asked me to look. Who just messaged me, asked me to look? Oh, Thomas. It was you, Thomas. Command find Thomas. There's Thomas Farzetta. There's Thomas Gruber. Right there. 3. Is that right, Thomas? Wait. What's your name on the website? I don't have you as a legend on the website. I got you as a fan on the website and a fan on YouTube. Wait. Okay. All right, Thomas. Wait a second. That's because I didn't. That's because I didn't take you. I didn't take you from. That's right. You did upgrade. All right. My mistake. Good call, Thomas. My mistake. Thomas Gruber should have 9 entries, 8 from the website, 1 from the. All right. Good catch. See, I had my list pulled that you were a fan on the website because you originally signed up as a fan. All right. So you have 9. All right, now I got 9 in. All right, recopy. All right, repaste. All right, now we go. Now we'll look for Thomas Gruber. There you go. All right, 9 entries in for Gruber. Gruber, good catch. Appreciate it, dude. New member, James M. James, thank you, brother. Where did James just become? James just became a JAKIB fan. All right, so adding him in now. Add in James M. James M. And I want to add that to my master list too, because if I lose these names, I gotta. If I lose these names, I gotta fix it. All right, James M is in on both my lists. All right, perfect. All right, who else wants me to check? Who else needs me to check? James, all good, brother. Thank you for becoming a member, man. I appreciate your support. Big Trag, I think you're in there, brother. I'll search you, though. I pulled the most recent list. Yeah, you're in there, dude. See it? You got 1 entry. You're in there. All right, you're in. Devin, what's up, Devin? Yeah, Frank, you're good. You're entered if you're on either one. The only reason I did the website now, Frank, is because YouTube takes about 50% of my subscriptions from my members. So my website takes 3%. So, you do the math. Somebody signs up to be a family member. I get $5 from it out of 10 on YouTube. I get $9.70 from it on the website. So it's just a little bit more, beneficial for me. But Wayne the Pain, I'll search you. Wayne the Pain has 1 entry. You're a fan on YouTube. That makes sense. All right. Right here. Check me. Frank, I'll check you. Frank from Philly, 1 entry. There you go, brother. You're in. All right. ZM, that's good by me, brother. That's good by me. That's good by me. Does Caden have an entry? Yeah, Caden's my brother. You didn't know? I love Caden. You guys give Caden a hard time. I don't know why. All right. All right, let's do this. Who's ready for the giveaway? Who's ready for the giveaway? We give everybody a hard time. That's true, Siglor. That is correct. All right. He did pick against us. He picked the Rams this week. I'm not picking the Rams this week. I'm not picking the Rams this week. Stop that. I got 27-24 birds. All right. Frank says, should I cancel on YouTube? I'm not going to tell you to cancel on YouTube, but you know, if you want to be a member on only one place, the website definitely is a little more beneficial to me. But I know some people like to have their name green or whatever it is on the YouTube. So I don't know. I like both, man. They're both good to me. All right. Both benefit the channel. Both benefit the company. All right. Oh, that's true. I got to get some Lane Johnsons. That's true, James. That's a good get. I'll get some lanes. All right. I'll get some lanes. All right. Chris, I got your DM yesterday. Chris sent me an awesome DM yesterday. Chris, I talked to my sisters. They're making one for you, brother. They're making you a Kelly Green rosary. So my sisters do rosaries. Anybody that would want a rosary, you can reach out to me. I'm going to show pictures of them soon. But they ordered more of the beads that are kind of like eagle green beads, basically. Yeah, Chris, I got your DM. Thanks, dude. Thanks for reaching out, Chris. I thought that was a pretty special message. So thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man. All right. I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here, Chris. All right, let's do this giveaway. Start. Wait a second. Where's Prince? I haven't seen Prince in days. Oh my gosh. Chris says, hey Z, did you speak on the rosaries? I just did, Chris. Thank you, bro. He says, listening while fishing and dropped my phone in the pond. It took a little bit to find it in the water. What do you got? Like a life proof on that case, on that phone or something? All right. Zay, is there any way you can incorporate a website member chat into the show? I got to figure that out. All right. I got to figure that out. All right. I got to figure that out. Hey, ZM, I want to go. I want your team to make me some stuff, dude. I want to do that thing. All right. So just let me know. I feel like it'd be good for giveaways. What merch designs would people want to see? That's the real question. I don't know. I'm not a merch guy. You know, I'm a content guy. All right. The scream is so funny. I knew. This is Joe Whip. Joe and giveaways take me a while. All right. All right. That's Joe Whip crying at me. All right. And then this is me. Oh, man. Yeah. Abe, send your drawings to ZM. All right. That's a long laugh. The laugh is way too long. All right. How long is it? All right. I got to pause it. That is like the longest thing ever. I love the bongo drum roll. That's Thomas Gruber when the picker's about to go. That one stinks. Joe Whip. I like that one. The laugh one's terrible. All right. Alfredo says, damn, boy, you're still on here. Go handle your business. Yo, Alfredo, worry about your fucking self, Alfredo. What a shitty comment. Worry about your fucking self, acting like I don't handle my business. That's about everything I do in life is handle my business. Thank you. Hey, Alfredo, I know you got plenty of shit to worry about in your life. You don't got to worry about mine. Thank you, dude. Why don't you go cry on Twitter some more, all right? Go cry on Twitter some more and tag me in some tweets. Holy shit, Alfredo. All right, let's do this. One shuffle for Jalen Hurts. And we're locking it in on Jalen Hurts. All right. Start. Come on. You do not have to be present. This is the original defensive giveaway. This is the original defensive giveaway. Oh, yeah, baby. The Jigga. Oh, that is a great winner. The great and the legendary Twizzler. And he's in the chat right now. I was just ripping him because he didn't lose weight to get into the freaking jersey. And now my boy Twiz with the W. Let's go, Twiz. Let's go, Twiz. The great and legendary Twizzler. He puts in the laughing emojis. Let's go, Twiz. I'm going to go buy a bag of Twizzlers today to think of my boy Twiz. To think of my boy Twiz. This is a good W. Guys, Twiz has been here for 5 years. 5 years. All right. 5 freaking years from my boy Twiz. All right, Twiz, time to pick a jersey because you're in here. I might as well ask you while you're here. Twiz, what do you want? First off, what size? Let me figure out what I got in your size. And I am going back to get more, so if I don't have one you like, I'll get you one. I'll get you whatever. All right. I'm happy. I'm very happy with this winner. I always love when people who are, real supporters of the channel win. Not that, whatever, when other people win, it's fine. But I do appreciate when people who, are really here. Size fat. Are you 2X, Twiz? Are you 2X? I don't know. The jerseys run bigger than that sweatshirt did, dude. I got to see what size Twiz wants. Let me look what I got. I got the XL Midnight Green Saquon. I got, what do I got? Size fat is hilarious. I got XL Jalen Hurts. I got XL AJ Brown. I got small Jalen Carter. This is saved for Izzy B. And Wild Bear. They're going to have to fight. We're going to hang the jersey in the middle of the ring. Okay. We're going to hang the jersey in the middle of the ring. And Izzy B and Wild Bear will fight for the Jalen Carter jersey. All right. I got XL and Saquon Barkley. XL Saquon Barkley. Kelly Green. I got a medium Jordan Mailata. Okay. I got the XL Saquon. I got the 4 I'm going to take back. 2XL Coupe. Twiz, done. I'll make it happen for you. I don't have it with me, but I'll make it happen. Let me put you down. Let me write Twiz down on my winners list. Twiz did Jago. Twiz. Do I pronounce that right? Twiz T.I. DeJiga. That's funny. All right, bro. Twiz, I love it. I knew you'd want Coop. I should have known that. All right. I should have known that. Izzy wins that. She's like 6'4". I don't think Izzy's 6'4". Izzy B, are you 6'4"? Can you confirm or deny? I'm pretty sure you're tall, but I don't think you're 6'4". 6'4"? Robert, what's up, Robert? You're the best, Zander. Go Birds. Go Birds, Robert. Thank you for the comment, brother. Appreciate you, brother. 2XL Coupe is a great choice. That is a great choice. That is a great choice. All right. Wait, Izzy B, if you're 5'11", why do you want a small? I guess you're still like a petite little woman. I love how women are just like petite. All right. Good stuff. 2XL for my boy Twiz. He's going Cooper DeJean on me. Wait a second. Wait a fucking second, Twiz. Holy shit. You guys will not believe this. You guys aren't going to believe this shit. Twiz, are you here? Yes, he is. What's that say? What's that say? What's that say? And what's that say? I got a 2X in Cooper DeJean right here. I got a double X in Coop. Let's go, Twiz. I got it already in-house. I got it in-house. That's incredible. I got it in freaking house, man. I got the jersey in-house. You have to love that. All right. 2. Let's go, Twiz. Man, that's dope. I can't believe I remembered that jersey was sitting over there. Dude, I've had that jersey for a while. I knew it would go to some. I knew it would be used successfully. Kimberly, I'm getting more Coops. Don't you worry, Kimberly. I would assume you're not a 2XL. Kimberly, from your picture, and I hope you don't take disrespect to this, it looks like you might be a small or an extra small, Kimberly. All right? All right, Kimberly? Just from your picture is very small on my screen. Okay, Kimberly? But you don't look like the type that would wear a 2XL jersey. Devin says, yo, Zander, do you remember you got that coupe for me last year, but I won a Quignon giveaway and preferred that? Devin, that might be where it came from. I don't know. I got so many jerseys last year. All right. I am a kid's me. That's about what I was thinking, Kimberly. I gotta go to the youth sizes for you. All right. All right. I gotta go to the youth sizes. So don't worry. This Cooper jersey was never yours to begin with, Kimberly. I would have been swapping this for a new one. All right. I would have been swapping this for a new one for you. Boy, I'm happy I got Twiz's jersey in-house already. All right, Twiz, hit me up. Yo, Twiz, you already got a Zander note. You need another one? I know you want one. Don't get me wrong, Twiz. I know you want one. But after you joked about starting a fire with it, I don't know. All right. All right. Love all you guys. Great show today. Great Zander time. Great jersey giveaway. It went to the great and legendary Twiz the Jigga on the first freaking pull. This giver, guys, the picker is operating at a high level this year. The picker is operating at a very high level this year. Okay? It is. Izzy says, Zander, send my Z note and I'll be happy. I know you will, Izzy B. I'll write you a little love note. Okay? I'll write you a little Z note. All right? Gotta love it. Can we do Z note giveaways? No, I don't use cologne. Rich, I'm not really a cologne guy. I don't like it, you know. Rich is that dude that sprays like 16 squirts of cologne. All right. No, that's not me. All right, everybody. I love all you guys. All right. I love all you guys. That was a fun Zander time. We talked about a little bit of everything. We got a giveaway done. All right.
A little Twiz the Jigga action. All right. Q, I miss you too, brother. He says, Big Z, I can't even be here at this time anymore. Miss the show, man. Q, appreciate your support, brother. Appreciate you still checking in with us. Don't worry, we'll have plenty of giveaways where you don't have to be present to win. So that was one there. Twiz just happened to be present. But appreciate you, Q. Hope you're doing well, brother. Keep grinding, all right? All right. Keep grinding. Izzy and the Picker is a top 4 beef. Izzy and Wild Bear is now a legendary beef as well. All right. The ladies love colognes. Yeah, I have one. I have it. It's just not like I just don't like use it every day. All right. Chris says, take it easy and have a great and productive day. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. I got a lot to do today. All right. So, all right, Master Eagle. I just got your email back. So thank you every day. Thank you, brother. Appreciate all you guys. Q, Izzy B, Josh M, ZM, Wild Bear, Rich, Chris, Brian Fleming, Joe Whip, Rich, Chris Lanson. I don't know if I said that right. Bruce Banner, HKP, Tony's in here. Love all you guys, man. Kimberly, appreciate each and every one of you. Got Abe. Thank you, Abe. Love all you guys. Robert says 35-21. Big win by Robert. Love it. 27-24 is my score prediction, guys. Hit that like button on your way out. See you next time, everybody.
You've been listening to Birds 365, the destination for the passionate Eagles football fan who bleeds green. If it's Eagles football, we're talking about it. Debate, inside the locker room, and guests that are some of the greatest football minds from around the region. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had a blast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on social media at JAKIB Sports. See you next time on Birds 365.